candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Pacific. The popular group of sports radio.
Popularity matters.
The cool kids.
Let's not overreact.
Steve Cavino.
I'm going for the clout, for the clicks.
Rich Davis.
To all the girls I have loved before.
It's Cavino and Rich.
2 nerds.
Really?
Putting the cool in sports.
I got kicked off of the Mets chat because I'm too positive of a guy.
Yeah.
Weekdays from 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Worldwide leaders of nonsense.
Ben Maller, the big dog.
I am the greatest effing clown.
Ben Maller, the man with all the answers.
And anyone who says otherwise is an absolute idiot.
Ben Maller, the After Hours Specialist.
This is the definition of stepping into it.
It's the Ben Maller Show.
So I've got 3 Stooges, Alanis Morissette, and Jersey Mike.
Weeknights at 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports
AM
Radio.
800 KXIC Iowa City. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, sports, talk, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Test. Good Sunday morning. Welcome into the Xfinity Center on the campus of the University of Maryland. Stephen Grace and Mark Ironside getting into the final day of the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championships. Right now we've got 3 mats on the floor. We have 7 weight classes that will be wrestling up through 9th place, just to figure out either automatic qualifiers and or who is next in line for any of the at-large bids that are available. So the Hawkeyes will have 1 wrestler wrestling in this session, and that will be Aiden Riggins. He will be taking on the number 10 seed Roman Rogatsky of Indiana. They are only taking 8 automatically at 184. But depending on how things shake out across the country or with any injuries, they will be figuring out who is next in line for some of those at-large bids. So taking a look at some of those. Heading into today's session, of course, first off, these are not scoring for the team. So no team points being scored for any of these wrestlers. This is just for NCAA qualification purposes. The Hawkeyes right now sitting in 4th place in the team standings after the first day. Iowa has 1 in the finals later this afternoon in the form of Zach Glazier at 197. Still have 8 alive wrestling for as high as 3rd place. All 9 of those athletes have automatically qualified for the NCAA Wrestling Championships. And so the Hawkeyes will send 9 for sure to Kansas City. Probably not a good chance for Riggins to get an at-large, even if he does win this 9th place bracket. But you never know. Some crazy things have happened. Penn State in the lead. They have 136 points. Michigan is in second with 105.5. Nebraska 89, Iowa 88.5. Ohio State has 78.5, and Rutgers has 71.5. Penn State has 7 in the finals, 2 still alive here in the Wrestlebacks. Michigan has 4 in the finals and 5 in the Wrestlebacks. Nebraska and Iowa both have 1 in the finals with 8 in the Wrestlebacks. Ohio State has 2 finalists with 4 in the consolation rounds, and Rutgers is with 1 in the finals and 6 in the backside. So, big day yesterday, Mark. Got things rolling, and a big day here today. Obviously, 8 guys that are not in the finals, but they all have a chance. Their new championship is 3rd place. That goes a long ways for team points. It goes a long ways towards individual seeding once you get to the NCAA championships.
Yeah, it's kind of like Tom said in his presser last night. You know, it's just you're qualifying now, and you're setting your pace for the NCAAs. You're trying to get up there and as high as you can, and wrestling for a seed now, and wrestling for the highest step on the Big Ten podium. Nothing. Unfortunately, it's just just kind of a sour a little bit because you're not going for a national championship or a Big Ten title right now. We got Zach Glazier going for a Big Ten title. He's got a tough road to hoe with facing Brooks. But we could have a really, really good day here this morning in the Wrestlebacks, and we could really score a lot of points, and as well as tonight because they're going to wrestle 3rd and 5th tonight. What time does that start?
4:30 here, so 3:30 in Iowa.
I should say later this afternoon or early evening. But there's a lot of wrestling to be done here. I mean, Hawks could score a lot of points and do a lot of damage today, and it could be a really, really good day and walk out of here with feeling pretty good about ourselves. Penn State has just absolutely done what they're expected and supposed to do, and like you and I were talking last night too, that's without a single point from Starachi.
Yeah, they've got a 30-point lead, and Starachi injury defaulted twice yesterday.
Yeah, not a
he
single
made weight,
point.
came out with his headgear on, shook hands, and then injury defaulted.
They're just doing what they do. Women
getting ready to start.
Well,
the women's basketball, but Iowa women wrestling.
Iowa women's wrestling last night.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You and I made it back to the hotel just in the nick of time to watch Kylie Welker. Came down to the last match of the entire tournament in the finals between Kylie Welker and a girl from North Central. And Iowa and North Central are literally half a point apart. So whoever wins that match not only wins a national title for themselves, but wins a national title for their team as well. You talk about pressure.
Yeah.
Holy moly. There's a lot on that.
Kylie Welker looked like she was thriving on that pressure. She came out on fire.
Like she didn't waste any time and just absolutely destroyed her opponent, which was a good opponent too, and teched her and put an exclamation point on her.
Almost pinned her.
Yeah. It was really, really cool to see. I'm glad we were able to make it back in time to see that happen and witness a little bit of history, at least through Flow Wrestling and on our little phone that we were sharing.
Yeah.
And then watched it in the hotel room last night. So,
well, that's one of those cases where you talk about every point matters. Obviously, the scoring is different. You can take 15 and then they score the top 10, but you can't have 2 from the same weight. So, you had 2 finalists at 2 different weight classes. Well, whoever got second didn't get those points added into the team total. And on the other side, you had a couple of the wrestlers that didn't make it to the podium. I mean, they got knocked out early on, but a couple of those, I think they scored 5.5 points each. So right there's 10 points, and you win by 5. That's the difference right there. So one of those wrestlers wins a match, gets a point. They lose, they come back, win a match in the Wrestlebacks or something. That goes just as far to the team race as Kylie Welker winning in the championship at the very end.
Yeah, that was really, really something else. And I know that the team was pretty elated, and I know Coach Clarissa Chun was extremely proud of her team and her staff and everybody everybody and everything that went into that. And it was kind of fitting, too, that Kylie Walker was her very, very first recruit.
Yep.
When it was just her. She just got named coach. I mean, she didn't have a staff. She didn't have a team. She didn't have anything. And Kylie Walker was her, said, okay, I'm in. And then it came down to, Kylie was that person. It was just really cool, kind of a moment for Kylie Walker and Coach Clarissa Chun and the whole staff. And that was a tough tournament for them. So, and they qualified, I think, 4 more girls for the Olympic trials by winning national titles than they already had. They got 6 girls. 2 of them were already qualified, so they qualified 4 more. So that's impressive.
Well, that is our Hawkeye Women's Wrestling Update, brought to you by Riverside Casino and Golf Resort, featuring the Draft Day Sports Lounge, where you'll find great food, beverages, and the Top Golf Swing Suite ready to play. Riverside Casino and Golf Resort, located just minutes south of Iowa City, proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural season of Hawkeye Women's Wrestling. Thank you to Riverside Casino and Golf Resort for your partnership with the Iowa Hawkeyes. Well, as we await Aiden Riggins, let's step out, make sure that we get a little bit ahead of the game here to get things rolling. This is the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championships and Hawkeye Wrestling from Learfield.
Hey, Hawkeye fans. This is Monica from Monica's. Randy always told Chef Sal and me that family comes first. So I'm here with my son to invite you to stop by before or after your favorite university event. We are proud of our Hawkeye coworkers, including Sal's daughter, Miss Sarah, and hope you know that if you are headed to Carver or Hampshire, our awesome food, full bar, and Monica's family await. We hope to see you soon. And what do you say, Meyer?
Go Hawks!
This is Coralville City Administrator Kelly Hayworth reminding you to shop and eat locally. Now, your favorite Coralville businesses offer more options for finding what you want for your home and family. Local restaurants, bakeries, and breweries have perfected carryout and delivery. Coralville shops continue excelling in personalized service. They take pride in helping you find the perfect item or gift for any occasion. Thank you for infusing Coralville with your shopping and dining dollars.
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/fan of corn.
This is Monica from Monica's. Randy trusted Chef Sal and I for decades. Over the years, we learned from his work ethic, generosity, and courage. We made a strong team because he was a great coach. We are honored to carry on his legacy and will not change the Monica's playbook. Italian specialties and American favorites made from authentic ingredients, prepared and served by a caring staff. Like athletes, we will never forget our great coach. Thank you for your continued support. And of course, go Hawks.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network, this is Iowa Hawkeye Wrestling, presented by Pioneer.
College Park, Maryland. What a difference 2 days makes, Mark. Friday, we went to Washington, D.C., walked around. It was one of those where it's like, man, we shouldn't have even brought coats. It was 60 degrees, sunny, just gorgeous. Today, it feels like it's about 40 degrees with 30-mile-an-hour winds, so the wind chills drop down there. It's like, and it just feels even worse when it's 2 days separated from such nice weather. But that's what you expect in the spring.
That's what you expect in the spring. But it was nicer. It was a lot nicer out here than it is back home.
Yeah.
I was really surprised, like when we were in D.C., was that Friday?
Yeah.
How green it was. Like everything, the trees were blossoming and blooming, and it was nice. And it obviously doesn't get near as cold here as it does back home. It was really nice. Heck, I even took my shoes off. We're walking around in the grass out there by the Washington Monument. It was fun. It was a good day. But now, I don't know, but hey, we're going back to really nice weather this week at home.
Yeah,
so
it's supposed to be in the 60s again. Looking forward to it.
68 tomorrow, I believe. Iowa women's basketball team playing right now, taking on a really tough Nebraska, who they got beat by at Nebraska a few weeks ago. Iowa women's basketball beat Michigan last night.
Handily.
Bad. Yeah, really bad. Like 95 to, I can't remember, something.
60 something, yeah.
Or something. Or 60 something. Almost by 30 points. But this Nebraska team is good, really good. And they're leading the Hawks right now 10-5 early on.
Well, again, across the mats right now, we've got ninth place brackets. You look through 125, they're taking 9. So basically, the winners of this bracket will automatically qualify, and then whoever finishes 10th would be in a good position for an at-large bid if they need to. 141, they're taking 11. So basically, you got to finish third in your
11?
bracket to automatically qualify. There's 3 guys in the conference that will not qualify at 141. 149, they're taking 9. 157, they're taking 9. 165, they're taking 10. 74 and 84, they're only taking 8, but they're wrestling to 9th place again for at-large qualifiers. And then 97 and heavyweight, they are not taking. They're taking 7 at each of those weight classes, along with 133. But situation where may not be for team standings, but these are some important matches for these guys to try to qualify, see what they can do. Because, like we just said with the women's tournament, maybe you get somebody that comes in at 125, wins a match or two, and that can make the big difference in the team race. You know, either knock somebody off that brings one of the top dogs down a tier. Some of these teams, you know, they're looking for a top 15 or a top 10 finish, and that could be the difference for them, just with that one more person in there. So
it's going to be interesting to see, as every year, come. I think the at-large bids come out on Monday.
Tuesday. Yeah.
And then when do the brackets come out?
Trying to remember, is it Tuesday, Wednesday, or?
I think it's. I don't know. I thought it was. Maybe it is Tuesday, Wednesday. I think you're right. Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday. Or Wednesday, they start releasing the brackets throughout the afternoon. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, some years they've done like an actual selection show. Some years they just are like, here, every 20 minutes we're going to give another weight class.
I think that's what they're doing this year. Like every 20 minutes, half hour. I'm just glad that Bradley Hill got in.
Yeah.
The right way. Not waiting on that large bid. Riggin still, as you've mentioned, has, he's wrestling for a possible opportunity. You just don't know. So you go out today and try to do your best. And just wrestle and see what happens. But getting 9 in, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So we're going to have to go to KC and see what we can do, and then it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like coming into this tournament. You don't know what's going to happen. And look at 125.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 go down to the quarters. It's tough wrestling here. It's great competition. Even these matches here that we're watching right now, and the stands aren't completely full yet because people are kind of funneling in. They know that the true wrestlebacks aren't going to start for a little bit yet here. They have to get through these matches. But these are some high-intensity matches going on right now. Some great wrestling. The fans are into it. Sometimes some of these guys, this might be the last time they ever lace up a pair of shoes for competition again, too.
Yeah. And like we said, it's these matches, and then we will have the entire consolation semifinals where 8 of the Hawkeyes will wrestle. Winners of that match will wrestle for 3rd this evening. Losers will wrestle for 5th this evening. After all of those consolation semifinal matches are done, then we will wrestle the 7th place bouts, and then we will wrestle 1st and 3rd place for these 9th place brackets. So technically, Aiden Riggins will wrestle twice, because win or lose, he would still drop down because he won last night. He's in the final 4. So then he would wrestle for potentially 3rd place. So could have some time in between some of these. The mats right now, yesterday we had 4 of them, 2 on the left side, 2 on the right side. They've taken 1 out here in front of us, and centered that up. So the two are still where they were yesterday, and then the third mat is kind of centering the other two on the other side of the arena. A little bit better vantage point for us, other than looks like the one right in front of us is where the championship will be. And so they've got the crane camera, they've got another tripod camera. So still getting blocked off a little bit from our sight lines in a few of these spots, but
well, yeah, this crane camera's right in front of us.
That's why we're radio. We just kind of deal with it. So all season long, Pioneer brings us our conversation with Hawkeye coach Tom Brands. Pioneer brand A-Series Enlist E3 soybeans hold the best agronomic performance a soybean has ever achieved. Contact your local Pioneer sales rep to learn more. Another quick timeout. We'll be back with more from the Xfinity Center in College Park, Maryland right after this. You're listening to the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championships. This is Hawkeye Wrestling from Learfield.
Welcome back to the Nitrogen Stabilizers Draft.
Optonite technology, first pick, just like the last 46 years.
That's what we love about this sport. We just don't know.
We know. It keeps nitrogen in the corn's root zone for 8 weeks. Compare with 2 weeks for others.
With the first pick, farmers select
Optonite technology from Corteva Agriscience. That's it. I'm going for pretzel.
The pick is in. Optonite technology from Corteva Agriscience with Inserve and Instinct Next-Gen Nitrogen Stabilizers.
Hit a deer? Call Premier. Premier Automotive in North Liberty is Eastern Iowa's most trusted name in auto body repair. Our premier reputation is built on providing superior customer service, accurate estimates, and high-quality work. Our experienced staff guarantees your vehicle is restored and back on the road in no time. Premier Automotive in North Liberty or online at premierautoiowa.com. Drive safely, but if you hit a deer, call Premier.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
When it comes to pools, Splash means fun. As Iowa's only Master Pools Guild member, Splash Pool & Spa provides top-tier quality on everything you need, from development to construction to service. We offer fiberglass and custom concrete pools so you can choose what's right for your vision and budget. Use our virtual pool builder to start planning your project from the comfort of home. Book your pool project ASAP to ensure fun in the sun this summer. Visit splashpools.fun or stop by our showroom at 5454 Centerpoint Road Northeast in Cedar Rapids.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network. From Learfield, this is Iowa Hawkeye Wrestling. Presented by Pioneer. Pioneer combines cutting-edge research with one of the largest local testing programs in the industry to help farmers succeed. Pioneer. What's next happens here. Also brought to you by Hy-Vee. Score big savings with the new Hy-Vee Perks membership. Riverside Casino and Golf Resort, home of the Draft Day Sports Lounge, just minutes south of Iowa City. By University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit ialottery.com for details. And by Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Now, welcome to Hawkeye Wrestling, presented by Pioneer.
Continuing through the 9th place brackets here of the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championships. We got 157, 149, and 165 on the various maps. No team score or team score for these matches, just for automatic qualifier slots. Update from Indianapolis, 2.5 to go first quarter. Nebraska leading Iowa 21-11. There must be something with the sight lines there. Caitlin Clark has not had a good shooting week. Started out 0 for 6, I think it was.
I don't know. Nebraska's not really having a problem right now.
No.
They're playing us hard, really, really hard. 21-11. We were down by more.
Looking ahead to the matchups for the Hawkeyes in the consolation semifinals. At 125 pounds, second-seeded Drake Ayala will be taking on the number 9-seeded Dean Peterson of Rutgers. Peterson started things off yesterday with the 7-1 victory over top seed Ramos of Purdue before falling in sudden victory to McKee of Minnesota. Brody Teske will have a rematch with Jacob Van D, the number 4 seed from Nebraska. Van D got knocked off in the quarterfinal round by the number 5 seeded Nagao of Penn State before working his way back through with wins over Bouzakis and Rooks. And so Teske will rematch there. They wrestled in the finals of the Soldier Salute with Teske winning by a score of 5-4. But then a couple weeks later when they wrestled in the dual meet over in Lincoln, Van D turned the tide and won by a score of 10-4. That Van D is good on top, especially, I mean, it's kind of an old school, like, basic, but I mean, the ball and chain, a lot of times, he's just got the hand between the legs. Like, he finds ways to trap that and get points off of it. And so Brody's going to have to be ready for that. 141 pounds, third-ranked Real Woods will be taking on the fourth-seeded Brock Hardy from Nebraska. Hardy got knocked out in the quarterfinal round by the 5-seeded Limley of Michigan. And these two have wrestled a lot in the last 2 years. This season in the dual meet, Woods won by a score of 8-2. Last year at the NCAAs, Real won by a score of 11-1. Hardy had gotten hurt at that tournament, so he definitely wasn't the same wrestler. This is actually a rematch of the Big Ten Finals from last year that Real Woods won by a score of 2-1. And then in last year's dual meet, Real also won by a score of 6-4. At 149 pounds, third-seeded Caleb Bracci will be taking on the fourth-seeded Tyler Kozak of Penn State. That was an 11-8 victory in sudden victory for Caleb Bracci back in Iowa City in February, I guess that was. So in that dual meet, Bracci got the win. At 157 pounds, fourth-seeded Jared Franick will be taking on the number 8 seed Joey Blaze of Purdue. That was a 2-1 victory for Franick in the dual meet in Carver. At 165 pounds, third-seeded Michael Caliendo will be taking on the number 11-seeded Chris Moore from Illinois. They wrestled in the dual meet, Caliendo winning by Tech Fall 17-2.
Holy smokes.
At 174 pounds, third-seeded Patrick Kennedy will take on the number 5 seed Rocco Welsh of Ohio State. Those two have never wrestled before. And then at heavyweight, 7th-seeded Bradley Hill, who got 2 big wins last night to finish in the top 6 to automatically qualify. He will be wrestling the number 4 seed Yaroslav Slavkowski from Rutgers, formerly of Harvard, but transferred in through the portal. Those two have never wrestled before either. So those are the matches, and then see how things shake out. On the bottom side at 125, depending on if Ayala wins or loses, he will have the winner or loser of either the number 1 seed Ramos of Purdue or a potential rematch with the number 7 seed De Agostino of Michigan. Teske will wrestle either the number 7 seeded Brown of Maryland or the 5 seed Nagao of Penn State. At 141, Woods will wrestle either the number 7 seed Moore from Rutgers or the number 5 seed Limley of Michigan. At 149, Bracci will take on either the 5-seeded De Emilio of Ohio State or the number 6 seed Miller of Maryland. Miller is actually who defeated Bracci in the quarterfinal round by a score of 7-6. Jared Franick will take on either the number 5 seed Peyton Robb of Nebraska or the number 3 seed Brayton Lee of Indiana. Michael Caliendo will take on either the number 5 seed Antrell Taylor of Nebraska or the number 6 seed Cameron Amin from Michigan. Patrick Kennedy will have either a rematch with the 6 seed Jackson Turley of Rutgers. He beat him by major decision in the quarterfinals. Or he will have the number 9 seed Andrew Sparks of Minnesota. 197, Glazier is in the finals, and he'll be taking on top-seeded, top-ranked Aaron Brooks. That was a 5-1 score in the dual meet back in Iowa City. And then at heavyweight, Bradley Hill will take on either the number 3 seed Lucas Davison of Michigan, or he'll have another rematch with the 10-seeded Nash Hutmaker of Nebraska. So Those are the potential matchups for the Hawkeyes in the second session tonight after we see what they do here through this early round. Oak Knoll's mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care, a not-for-profit life plan community serving the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is conveniently located near the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, and downtown Iowa City. A proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Visit oakknoll.com to learn more. And also as a proud sponsor of the Iowa Hawkeyes, U.S. Cellular wants you to make the most of today by choosing game day traditions first and scrolling later. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Good job, Steven. It's a lot of talking.
Do what I do.
A lot of recapping, a lot of letting people know what's up and coming.
It's talking with Bob Chisano, who's out here today, with many other Hawkeye fans, but he's like, so when you guys are on the radio, if there's no Hawkeyes going, are you like calling those matches? Or I said, well, we're not necessarily. I mean, it kind of depends. Sometimes if it's an interesting matchup, if it's, hey, Patrick Kennedy has this guy next round, then we may look a little bit closer at it. We'll kind of give some updates of different things. He said, that's why sometimes when we get to these, like, I don't want to be kind of antisocial, but I'm not big on going to some of the social events afterwards because we've been talking all day long. I just want to go sit and relax. I don't necessarily want to have a bunch more conversations about things. And I can do it. I will do it if I need to. But it's just one of those where, yeah, we do spend a lot of time talking. And there's certain times in these tournaments that we're talking about a whole lot of nothing. So
a whole lot of nothing. A lot of filler. A lot of filler, Steven. And you're good at that. You're really good at that. I wouldn't be good at that. I'd be like, all right, we're going to take a 15-minute break, commercial break. We'll see you here when Riggins comes up.
Speaking of Riggins, he is on deck over on mat number 1. Again, he's taking on the number 10-seeded Roman Rogatsky of Indiana. Mat number 1 is probably the best sight line for us. Down here on the near side, we can see 95% of that mat. So that is a good one for him to be on. Just underway, second quarter. The Hawkeye women down 23-17 to Nebraska in the Big Ten Championship of Women's Basketball Tournament.
It's kind of funny how you're going for the Big Ten Championships. Two teams in the Midwest that border each other in the finals.
Yeah.
Not a Rutgers or a Maryland or something like that, It's going to be interesting to see what happens in all sports, really. I mean, obviously it doesn't affect wrestling at all, but with all these new sports coming into the Big Ten next year.
Yeah, Washington, Oregon, USC, and UCLA. I wouldn't mind a little trip out to Cali for some wrestling, but...
Well, you went out this last fall.
No, I didn't.
You didn't go to Cal Baptist?
No.
We didn't go at all?
Beatty and Moody did that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I
had...
to that.
Nope, I was either going to be coaching playoff football, or Jessica's family had already done a family trip to the Wisconsin Dells. So, like, they had set that a long time before the wrestling schedule came out. And so, talked to Tom ahead of time and said, I hate to do it, but I'm not going to make it for that one. So
you walked Beatty and Moody through the equipment and everything?
They used something a little different than we normally do. They just did streaming stuff. So Corey Sheets took care of him. He hooked him up on that. First period just gets done on mat number 1. Let's take another timeout and get ready for Aiden Riggins in his 9th place semifinal match. Right after this, you're listening to the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championships. This is Hawkeye Wrestling from Learfield.
If you guessed that was the sound of a bag of Pioneer brand A-Series soybeans, you guessed right. Well, kinda. It was really the sound of an innovative team that spent decades perfecting a seed with exclusive genetics and the ultimate agronomic advantage. The sort of breeders who don't rest until they've achieved outstanding performance. Pioneer brand A-Series soybeans. Number 1 for a reason. Visit pioneer.com/genetics.
Is your vehicle worn out from winter? Sprint into Dodge Street Tire today and get a free vehicle inspection from my dad, Brian Sekafetz. For over 30 good years, they've been your family-friendly, dependable, and honest neighborhood auto repair shop, willing to hurdle any obstacle. That's why their loyal customers have once again voted Dodge Street Tire as best in the area. Race into Dodge Street Tire and Auto at the corner of Dodge and Church Street.
Hit a deer? Call Premier. Premier Automotive in North Liberty is Eastern Iowa's most trusted name in auto body repair. Our premier reputation is built on providing superior customer service, accurate estimates, and high-quality work. Our experienced staff guarantees your vehicle is restored and back on the road in no time. Premier Automotive in North Liberty or online at premierautoiowa.com. Drive safely, but if you hit a deer, call Premier.
Save big on new siding from LP Smart Side at Menards. Update and beautify your home with your choice of 13 timeless colors of pre-finished engineered siding. It's durable and includes a Sherwin-Williams factory finish paint warranty that means no painting for years to come. Explore all Menards LP Smart Side options in-store or on menards.com, where you can check out all of our great deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
AM 800 KXIC Iowa City. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, sports, talk, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network, this is Iowa Hawkeye Wrestling, presented by Pioneer.
Big Ten Wrestling Championship. Stephen Grace and Hawkeye side finishing up some of these semifinals of the 9th place brackets. We have our first consolation semifinal match called up, and that is Drake Ayala. He's out waiting for Dean Peterson of Rutgers, just now making his way out from the back. Mat number 3. So Drake will be starting before Aiden Riggins gets underway. If you or someone you know needs support now, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
Let's go, Drake. Let's get this morning started.
Came out with a vengeance last night after getting beat in the quarterfinals by De Agostino. Got a fall over Macron and then an 8-1 win over the 3-seed Barnett.
Him and this Dean Peterson have never wrestled before. This Peterson is a sophomore. He's the number 9 seed coming in, 13-6 on the season. Drake down into his kind of his low-level stance down on a knee.
Teskey is on deck over on mat number 2, it looks like.
That's a bummer. Well, we haven't had really anything to talk about as far as action-wise goes all morning, and now we're
going to have 3 in a row.
Yeah, probably 3 all on the mats at the same time. Feast or famine.
There's a shot by Peterson, reshot by Ayala, but Peterson able to kick out of it. Drake drops for a low sweep attempt, gets caught into a front headlock. 2:10 to go, first period, no score. Consolation semifinal. Another 3.5 team points for wins in this round. Half a point for advancement, and then 3 points for the difference between 6th and 4th.
Like to see Drake come out and get some offense going here in this first period. He wrestles so much better when he has a lead. Once he gets to the attack and he gets on the leg, too many times he just kind of hangs out and lets that match, like, you know, come down towards the end, like especially like the De Agostino one.
Right. Peterson doing a lot trying to get front headlocks on Drake. Drake with an underhook. They're going to stalemate that. Fresh start from the center, 1:29 to go. Wasn't really watching because Drake was wrestling, but Peterson with the big upset over the top seed Ramos.
Ramos just has not looked himself. I'm telling you, ever since he beat Spencer at the Nationals last year, he's just
kind of up and down.
Not even really up, more so down.
Yeah.
He just hasn't looked I don't know, crisp and just like hungry. I guess that's probably the best word, like hungry. Like when he wrestled Ramos in that duel last year, or not Ramos, Spencer in that duel last year at Purdue, and then in the Nationals and stuff. I mean, he was a man on a mission. He was like strong. He's like, want to throw you, he'll do whatever, you know. And then
Drake tries a slide by, and Peterson drops right down to the leg off of that. Ayala hopping around on his left leg. Peterson has that right one up above the hip.
30 seconds to go here in the first period. Drake hopping around the air right now. Tries kicking out. Going to get called for stalling probably as they go out of bounds. No, they say continuous action. I thought that one, if anything, could have been called for stalling for going out of bounds.
Here comes Riggins out on mat number 1, so keep an eye on both mats. 20 seconds left, first period, no score for Ayala. Drake tries another slide by. Riggins looked good in his match last night.
Nice shot right there by Riggins. Double head to the inside. Steps over the leg. Trying to pop his head out here. If he could pop this head out, he could score a takedown. No score. A nice job for Riggins right there. I love it. He comes out and scores immediately.
He's got that leg still caught in there, trying to go crossface.
Drake and Peterson, no score at the end of the first period over there. Too many first periods go by where Drake doesn't have a score in these bigger matches.
Peterson starts down, hits back-to-back switches, and gets out, comes in on a double, cuts off to the single, one hand on the leg. Drake trying to get that toe down to the mat. Peterson trying to slide by right there.
Oh, my
Drake
goodness.
Still hopping around, turns, kicks away, squares back up. Peterson trying to cut off to the double. They go out of bounds.
Riggins.
They're going to call Ayala for stalling, for clearing out of bounds.
Rogotsky got a one-point escape, and Riggins immediately dropped in on the exact same double and got another takedown, so he's up 6-1, and then Rogotsky got an escape, so now it's 6-2 in the first period. But, man alive, Riggins come out just firing on those shots. Good, quick finishes, too. See if he can pass some of that over to the mat next door to him, to Drake now. Drake hasn't not been able to find a way to get to the legs of Peterson yet here in this match.
Minute 10 to go, first period. Peterson
another shot,
1-0.
another score for Riggins over here. Same thing, man. He's making it look easy. He's putting on a clinic over here. He's intentionally releasing him now. He's up 9-2 in the first period, 9-3 now, and intentionally releasing him. And he's in on another shot. Head to the outside single, cuts off to the double. Another three-point takedown. 12-3 in the first period for Riggins.
I love it.
Look at that.
30 seconds left, second period. Ayala still just hasn't found any sort of opening against Peterson. There, a little short drag into a head to the outside attempt. Peterson sat down. Drake trying to cut off to the double. Peterson locked around the chest, tries to roll us through.
Oh, he does, but
and we roll all the way through, come out the back door, get the leg shelved.
We're in a good place to finish here. We're only 10
Dumps
seconds
the leg
to go,
down.
though. There he
and
is.
Finishes for the three.
Nice job, Drake. Nice job, Drake. That was a big takedown right at the end of that second period. A big takedown for Drake. His choice going into the third period, I would assume he's going down. Riggins up 12-4 right now.
Trying to finish another shot.
That would make it 15-4.
Drake does start down to begin the third. He was able to get 9 seconds towards his riding time. Riggins not going to finish, but he leads 12-4 at the end of one.
Wow, what a period! And these matches do not count towards Riggins' match. Doesn't count towards team scores.
Points, yep. Drake
sitting over there looking at like the major, like, it's an extra point for us right now, and I'm like, oh shoot, that doesn't count.
Not. Drake quickly out.
Nice
gets in
shot.
Another shot right there. Peterson tries rolling him through, and Drake slips around behind and gets the three. No, they wave it off.
That's a great
so
shot
he's
by
still
Drake.
on the leg, trying to find a way to adjust. Peterson doing the splits.
Drake hit a nice drag right into kind of like a high crotch, and then he pretty much had it finished, but Peterson is a roly-poly guy. Now he has our legs and ankles.
He comes all the way around behind us. Drake trying to sit back into him. Peterson draped on our side, probably going to hold on for a stalemate here, and they do. 1:04 to go. 4-1 is the lead for Ayala.
Man, this Peterson rolls nonstop. That's the only defense he has. You get it on him, he doesn't even sprawl. He just lets you get in deep, and then he just rolls all around. Drake's got to make those adjustments. Doubles. Taking away that roll. You come up, you got to keep your shoulder down and into him.
12-5 is the lead for Riggins in his 9th place semifinal. Minute 15 to go in the second. Drake tried passing an elbow again, but Peterson squares back up with him. .30 seconds left in regulation.
Riggins in on a shot here. See if he can suck this in, this double and finish here. He just about does. And there's another 3 takedown. Riggins is up 15-5 now. Drake in the third period with 17 seconds left to go here in the match. He's up 4-1.
Sweep attempt by Peterson from a long ways away. Now he tries dumping over almost like the flying squirrel. Tries ducking. Drake does a good job into a front headlock, and Drake Ayala is going to get the win. 3.5 points for the Hawkeyes. 4-1 is the final score. It's going to bring out Ramos and DeAgostino on that same mat. So Ayala will wrestle the winner of that one in the session that starts at 4:30 this afternoon, Eastern Time, 3:30 back in Iowa. 15-7 is the lead as we've got a challenge over there on mat number 1 for Riggins. Brody Teske coming out on mat number 2. Teske taking on the number 4-seeded Jacob Van D of Nebraska. Molly's Cupcakes proudly serving their cookies and treats inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. For a taste of unique flavors you will love, stop by their downtown Iowa City location for homemade cupcakes, cookies, cakes, bars, and coffee drinks. Molly's Cupcakes, a proud supporter of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Well, we will do our best, but there is camera people and Matt Nelson standing in our way. I don't think Nell even realizes Teske's going on mat number 2 right now.
Yeah, it's a tough match to see. Right now, 2 up on mat number 3. Big match here between Matt Ramos of Purdue, the number 1 seed, and DeAgostino of Michigan, the number 7 seed here. This ought to be an interesting match as well.
Van D and Teske underway on mat 2. 2:20 to go in the first period. Slide by attempt by Van D. Teske into a front headlock. This guy grabbing the other's elbow right there, ear to ear. Stalemate it. Fresh start. 1:57 on the clock. I don't know what they're looking at over there in Riggins' match. 47 seconds left. Riggins leads 15-7 with 1:24 of riding time.
I don't know. We were both watching Drake right there, and I know Riggins had just scored a takedown there and made it 15-5, but now it's 15-7, so I don't know if it was a reversal or what.
Teske and Van D still just snapping. Tight collar ties.
It's really important for Teske to start early in this match. He tends to give up those first period takedowns an awful lot.
Well, he sometimes struggles from the bottom, and that's where Van D is good, is in that top position. So anything he can do to open things up early on. Inside of a minute to go, 2-on-1 by Van D. Teske clears out of it. Big snap by Van D. Neither guys look to the legs of their opponent yet.
They have not. No score between Ramos and DeAgostino, which is to no surprise. Still under review over here.
15 seconds left now for Teskey in the first. Zero zero at the end of one for Teskey. Sounds like they were looking for a potential key lock. As Rogotsky tries
getting cute right
jump
there with
throw.
With kind of a front headlock, try like a cement mixer type move. Yeah, he's going for broke now. Riggins were there with another 3-point takedown. That makes it 20 to 8.
Teskey starts down to begin the second period, up to his feet.
This is crucial for him to get out. Very, very crucial for Brody Teskey. Van Die's got him back down to the mat here, flattened out. He has a leg in, trying to Turk him over.
.30 seconds gone by down there for Teskey against Van Die. Brody trying to get his base built back up under him. Van Die going cross body. Now gets Brody flattened back down. Riggins starts down to begin the third period, leading 20 to 9. Van Die now trying to get a wing. Teskey, though, stands up. Van Die trying to crack him back down. Almost able to run that over. Brody stands back up, though. Now hits a switch back the other
wow,
way.
nice
and
job,
throws him off for
Brody.
the escape.
Man, that was just pure mentality right there. I'm getting out. He went against the grain, turned into something he probably shouldn't have, but he did it so hard that it threw Van Die off of him, and he was able to come out for a 1-point escape. That was big for Brody Teskey. He did give up 1:16 of riding time, though.
25 seconds left. Brody leads 1-0 in the second period. 1 minute to go in the third. 22 to 10 is the lead now for Riggins over Rogotsky. Somebody in the back must have got bored. They had the cross game up on the big screen. Final seconds tick away. Teskey will lead 1-0. And it will be Van Die's choice.
You got to ride him for at least 16 seconds. Riggins still wrestling. He's up 22 to 10 right now. He's on bottom and just got taken down 22 to 13.
Van Die to his feet. Teskey, got out of position. Van Die about ready to step over for the reversal. In a bad spot right there. Brody still hanging on to the ankle, but barely. There's the 2 reversal.
That is not where he wants to be, man.
Brody trying to hit
Did they
back
wave
the
that
other
off
way.
just now? No.
Nope, but there's the escape. But Teskey still has riding time against him. He's tied up at 2.
Needs takedown for sure. We got 1.5 minutes to go here in this match. He's got 109 riding time against him, so a takedown wins it. Riggins just won that one 24 to 14. Good job, Riggins. Come on, Teskey. You got to get a takedown, bud.
1:10 to go. Now, Hawkeye coaches, actually, you look, you've got Gabe Arnold and Ben Keeter were both back hollering something about the riding time. And so Terry Brands now finally got Jason Wedgbury's attention. And they're going to go look to see just to make sure everything's squared away on that. Halftime from the Target Center, 46 to 35, Nebraska with the lead over the Iowa Hawkeyes. Mat number 3, it's tied up at 1. Riding time not a factor between Ramos and De Agostino. Drake Ayala waits the winner of that one in the third place bout. Tom Brands over there as well. Not happy about something. Tom and Terry both talking to the two referees.
Tom wants to continue to keep talking. He
wants the third party to review it.
Yeah. He is pissed, Tom is right now. He is hot.
Keeps pointing at the riding time over there. He's like, hey, I want to challenge this. And they're not going to let him. Got a warning as well. So is that a point? Or do you get one warning? There's a low shot by Van D as he caught Teske diving in. Or reaching in. Brody draped over the top. Van D trying to come through the back door. Brody rolling him through. Van D turning back in. Brody's in a bad spot right here, still hanging onto the leg.
Come up, got to come up.
Van D about ready to step over.
Yeah, this is going to be a takedown for Van D for sure.
And there he does step all the way over for the 3. Well, no, they haven't given it yet. Brody's still hanging onto that leg. There, he lost it.
Dang it. We're in overtime over here between DeAgostino and Ramos.
Brody gets the escape, so it's 5-3. And gets into the leg finally.
Deep.
Van D trying to roll through. Riding time is secured, so Brody needs this to go to sudden victory.
9 seconds. Neutral danger. And
he got the 3.
And is he going to get more?
Does he get 2? He should get a 2 near fall as well. 3 takedown, 2 near fall. That's going to make it an 8-6 final score.
Wow.
Nebraska's going to challenge this. Brody Teske. This is what you do to dig deep and find a way to win. You wrestle all 7 minutes of this match if you have to. And he did just that.
It was a neutral danger situation there where he was in on the shot on Van D. Van D tried to roll him through, had Brody's leg. Brody's foot was kind of up by Van D's head, it looked like a little bit, and he just kind of held him there for a long period of time.
Showing it up on the big screen right now.
I hate that rule, but that's the rule right now, and it worked out into our favor here in this particular situation. He's trying to get his arm out here. He limps it out.
There.
Van D has our leg right there. Now we're holding him. Kind of almost like a near side cradle. He steps into him with his knee.
That's going to be close because he kind of rolled away from the neutral danger. Ramos just pinned DeAgostino from a neutral position.
So Drake Ayala will have Matt Ramos.
I don't know. That one angle they showed, Mark, they're going to wave it off. I was worried about that.
It's going to go OT now.
No, I think they're waving everything off.
No way. You can't wave everything off. That was for sure neutral danger. That was neutral danger.
That was the angle I saw. His back was there, and then he came back past perpendicular and then went back over again.
No, it's got to be tied up. Has to be tied up, neutral danger. We're going overtime. We have to.
I think if you get neutral danger, you...
No, then you start the near fall after you've been awarded the 3.
Okay, well, they say it is 6-6. I was thinking they've off everything.
Terry and Tom are hot down there.
Well, this is big in the team race. Nebraska, a half-point session.
Come on, Teske. No,
we're
going
head-to-head several
overtime
spots.
Here. We're in overtime on the feet here.
6-6 is the score.
They've split this year so far. It comes down to this overtime, tied up 6-6. Shot by Van D from a ways away. Reshot by Van D. Now he's in on pretty deep here. Man, Teske had an opportunity to get his legs back easily there and didn't do it. He just kind of got caught sleeping. Now Van D's deep in and ahead of the inside. Now we try rolling there. We can't see because they're behind these cameras and stuff.
Now Brody almost gets stacked up neutral danger.
He is not in good position from what I can tell
at all. Very close. Van D trying to step over. We can't quite see it. Now he's got him draped up over. with both legs on a double leg, trying to dump him down.
Right on the edge of the mat here. Teske hanging on for dear life right now.
Still locked through the crotch, trying to roll through. Now Van D gets that arm cleared out. Brody, though, stands up. Van D rolls through, and still no points yet. Now Brody trying to hip over top of him, and Brody Teske gets the three.
Wow, Brody Teske. Brody Teske. That is some tough wrestling right there. He just stood up in the air and stepped over and threw him to his back. That was pure horsepower, grit, and mentality by Brody Teske.
And, of course, we're going to get another coach's challenge coming in. Thinking maybe they had the takedown earlier, but I don't think they did. Brody still had the leg, and Brody was somehow able to find a way to hit back into him and then put him to his back. They're showing it on the side screen where we can't see it. I mean, it's obviously 3 there.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of, I think Nebraska's challenging that there should have been 3 earlier in the mat, or earlier in that sequence.
Just can't see because all those cameras are in the way. You couldn't see the action really good.
40 seconds remains in the sudden victory, depending on what they call here. Honestly, to me, the angle that I saw, again, at a weird angle looking at the video board up on the Jumbotron, it was a clear 3 for Teske. The only thing they can challenge is if Nebraska thinks there should have been 3 earlier.
Which we could not see at all.
Yeah.
We have no idea.
If you're looking for a place to stay near Iowa City and the University of Iowa, Hyatt Regency Coralville offers a memorable experience. The newly remodeled 288-room hotel features an on-site restaurant, new cafe serving Starbucks, a beautiful outdoor terrace, and much more. Hyatt Regency Coralville, located in the Iowa River Landing District, and is within walking distance to unique restaurants, luxury retailers, and live events at Extreme Arena. Well, Woods waits on deck where Teske is at. Rachi waits on deck on mat number 1, where Nagao taking on Brown. And that's a 8-5 lead right now for Nagao.
That's in the third period, less than a minute to go.
Mat number 3 right now.
Man, it is hot down there. It is so heated between all the Nebraska team members and coaching members and staff and the Iowa team members and coaching members and staff.
And you get Woods and Hardy right after it on the same mat.
God, back to back on the same. Why's it got to be on that mat? Brody Teske, man, I tell you what. It's his senior year. This has always got. He's had a long college career, and things really haven't gone his way. And he's got a heart of gold and a good kid. And I tell you what, he is just fighting with every ounce of everything that he has here in this tournament. He's just making the most out of the opportunity. Is the best way to put it.
Limley and Moore on mat number 3. Limley leads that one 5-4. With a minute to go in the second period. Nagao is going to win 9-5 with riding time, so he'll wrestle for third. Still reviewing down there for Brody Teske. Heart disease is the leading cause of death for men and women in the United States. You need expert care from specialists who know your heart condition inside and out. UI Heart and Vascular Center has advanced trained cardiologists that use state-of-the-art diagnostic tools. Make an appointment today at uihc.org/HVC. Caleb Rachi coming out on mat number 1. He is taking on the number 4 seed Tyler Kazak of Penn State. After review, they give 3 to Van D earlier in the sequence.
No way.
Wow. I didn't see that.
Well, we could see.
But so Teske is going to lose by a score of 9-6. So Rachi out underway on mat 1. Real Woods coming out on mat number 2. Woods taking on Brock Hardy of Nebraska. With that, Nebraska is going to jump back ahead of the Hawkeyes by half a point for third place.
Tom's still over there talking to Wedgbury behind the table over there. Wedgbury just a stone-cold face looking straight ahead, not even talking to him, not even responding.
There's Real Woods, a shot against Hardy. Can't get the second hand to the leg. Comes up with an underhook.
We got Rachi out here on the mat right now, too, against Kasich.
Shot by Kasich. Rachi trying to hip into him, and Kasich takes him to his back. No near falls, though. Deep double leg. Rachi just got caught flat-footed right there. So a minute and a half to go first period. Rachi down 3-0. Minute gone by, no score for Real Woods.
So Teskey's going to wrestle Brown of Maryland for 5th.
Brown is the number 7 seed.
That's something I haven't seen Woods work, is 2-on-1 this year that much.
He
really
did that a lot
last
last
year.
There he hits a sweep again, gets back to the leg. Hardy trying to dive over top. Woods trying to cut off to a double. Hardy though, hanging on to our ankle. Woods gets the leg back, though, and squares back up. Tries to get right back to that leg. And goes to that 2-on-1. Hardy pushing it away. And you got to be looking at Hardy for a stall call here.
No way. Hardy's he's kind of like his last. He lives up to his last name. He's just kind of Hardy. Just gritty and just flexible, and he scraps, and he's just not the most, dominating, gifted wrestler, but he just finds a way to be tough. And that's the same thing with kind of Real. And Real's had the upper hand on him on every time that they've wrestled. But it's never, ever been easy for Real wrestling Hardy, except for last year at the Nationals is 11-1. There's Real in another shot right here. Head to the inside. Hardy trying to limp leg out of this. Real should be able to finish. Come up in the air with it. There you go.
It's got him draped over, but Hardy's locked through. Now he turns, tries to kick away. Real shelving that leg, trying to cut across to the double leg. Now cuts back off to that single, elevates it high, tries to trip him down. Now pulling it back in, actually falls back down to his knees. Rachi's going to be down 3-0 with 1:46 riding time against him at the end of the first.
Hardy comes all the way around, keeps completely all the way around us here. He's going to get this takedown on us.
Locked through our crotch, trying to roll through.
Only 10 seconds to go here in the first period. Maybe he won't. We still have that leg. There's a potentially dangerous call.
Rachi starts down to begin the second period. 1:47 riding time against him. Now Hardy has blood, and he's kind of hobbling a little bit with that knee, too.
That's what happens. You get in all those funky situations. Like Hardy puts himself into those situations, trying to get out of things, and I don't know, tears my ACLs and MCLs just even looking at the situations.
Rachi trying to get up to his feet. Gets out for the escape. That'll make it 3-1, but he does have 2:14 of riding time against him. They get Hardy's blood cleared up. Back to action with 9 seconds left in the first period. And it looks like still bleeding a little bit, so they'll get a fresh start again. Mat number 3, Dylan D'Amelio of Ohio State against Ethan Miller of Maryland. That was Rachi in on a front head. Kazak tried to slide by out of that, but Rachi was able to turn and square back up.
Man, what a barn burner of a match between Van D and Teskey, though. I just wish we had a better view so we could see everything over there on mat 2 where they're at. Can't see anything over there with all these cameras. Where's that media guy that's been walking around here asking us how everything's going for us? Tell him to go move those cameras somewhere else.
No score for Woods and Hardy. Woods defers his choice. Hardy's going to go down. 20 seconds left in the second period. Rachi down 3-1 with riding time against him. Takedown for Miller of Maryland over D'Amelio of Ohio State. Woods right away trying to lever the triceps on the right side. Hardy working to get out.
Second period comes to an end over here between Kasich and Rachi going into the third period. Rachi's down 3-1 right now. He's kind of hobbling himself, Rachi is. He's limping a little bit on that leg. He has been this tournament, I've noticed.
Yeah.
Kasich's choice, he's going to choose down.
Real
Kasich
Woods
also has 2:14
getting
riding
some
time.
near falls over there. Not in a great spot. He's actually like his
Did get
hips
two
are all the
near
way
fall.
on the other side.
He did get 2 near fall.
Yeah.
That's huge for Real Woods
And
there.
it's like he had slid between Hardy's legs.
I can't see because of the camera.
Yeah.
I can't see him at all.
So if Hardy's laying on his side,
They got him on that side view
Yeah.
over there, so you can probably see better than I can.
yeah, I could see it pretty well. But like if he's up, his belly button was basically right there by Hardy's butt. His legs were on the other side of him, but he was able to still somehow force him to get a 2 count. Gives him a 2-0 lead with 48 seconds left as they go out of bounds. Second period, he's got 1:12 of riding time. Kasich gets out to start the third period against Rachi. Makes it a 4-1 lead, plus he has riding time. Just underway, second half in Minneapolis. 48-39 now is the lead for Nebraska over Iowa. Rachi looking for an underhook against Kasich. There's Real Woods again, trying to get some near falls, getting a little out of position. Woods reaches over, grabs our leg. Stepping over top of us. He's almost got a wing with his leg. Real just hanging on to that. Hardy trying to go cross-face, see if he can get reversal, or at the very least an escape. He's all the way around behind. Woods, though, rolling through the other way. Now Hardy gets the reversal and near fall. But then Real Woods comes back the other way.
Time ran out.
I
don't know if Real got out at all. I think he got 2 reversal, 2 near fall.
They're going to say 2 reversal, 2 near fall. Time ran out, so no points. Tom's wondering, can they talk about it to see if there was an escape there at least? 8-1 will be the final score. Rachi loses. So Rachi will drop down and wrestle for 5th. And right now, Miller of Maryland leading D'Amelio in the second period. So see how that one shakes out. Let's see. That page is done already. Check out the Iowa Style Apparel retail store located in the Strip Mall just south of Target on Edgewood Road Southwest in Cedar Rapids. Iowa Style Apparel offers the latest looks for a variety of local sports teams, including an expansive wrestling section. Check out the Iowa Style Apparel retail store on Edgewood Road Southwest in Cedar Rapids, or shop online at iowastyleapparel.com. Well, similar spot to where Real Woods was when he got the 2 near fall. He was just kind of forcing it, and that time Hardy was able to get the hips cleared and turned it into a reversal. Woods was hanging on and gave up 4. Peyton Robb out right now taking on Brayton Lee on mat number 1. Franek waits on deck on mat number 2 where Woods is wrestling.
Well,
this is interesting because you get the escape point at the end of the period. It makes it 4-3, and Real Woods has 155 of riding time. It's Woods' choice, so he goes down.
Gets an escape, makes it
They
5,
do
4,
give
4.
one escape. So 4-3 now, Hardy with the lead. But Woods has riding time, and Woods has his choice. So Woods starts down. Hardy covers. Real to his feet. Hand control, escape. So we're tied at 4, but Woods does have that riding time.
Nice job by Real getting up to his feet, getting hand control, getting out. Hardy wanted to ride him, trying to race a little bit of that ride time, race it if he could. Now Hardy's got to come at Real. 4-4, Real has 148 ride
Real's
time.
in on a shot.
Again, I can't see anything.
There he dumps him down, trying to cut off, but Woods unable to grab that leg before Hardy does the splits. Hardy trying to dive back over top. Real trying to cut off to the double. He's got him sat down. He's got to pop that right arm out. Hardy's locked through our crotch, trying to roll us through. Real Woods down on the ankle. Hardy rolling us through the other way.
Oh, this ain't good for us. This ain't good for us.
Now Woods almost into neutral danger, but still scrambling. Neutral danger again. 1 count. Now Hardy tries coming back the other way. Are they out of bounds, though? Not quite. Hardy still scrambling. Woods able to clear back out. Trying to pull him back the other way. Still halfway in bounds. 40 seconds left, and they'll stalemate it.
Hardy, they're challenging.
And a challenge again. My goodness. What is that, the 5th challenge brick thrown in the last two matches between these two teams? And they're challenging to see if it is a neutral danger. 52-45, the Hawkeye women trail.
They've had so many turnovers. Every time I glance over, it seems like we throw the ball, we pass the ball right at Nebraska.
Main Street Sweets been serving great ice cream and food in the heart of downtown West Branch for nearly 15 years, offering great burgers, tenderloins, cheese balls, and more, along with many awesome ice cream treats. Order online, call ahead, or stop in to visit. Main Street Sweets, owned and operated by my wife Jessica and me, on the web at mainstreetsweetswb.com. Miller of Maryland does win. So Rachi will take on De Emilio for 5th place. Still looking at things down there for Woods and Hardy. Seeing if there was neutral danger. Caliendo on deck on mat 1. Peyton Robb taking on Brayton Lee on that mat.
Man, these reviews are taking forever too. Who won that? Miller or De Emilio?
No, Miller did.
Miller.
So Rachi will take on De Emilio. After review, no takedown. So 42 seconds left. Still 4-4. Still riding time advantage for Real Woods. That Hardy, like you say, he finds ways to just create scrambles.
He does. That's what I'm saying. I've been saying this the whole time. He's so difficult and hard to wrestle. What do we got
Tries
going
to
on
slide
here?
by looking into a Merkel.
Again, I can't see because the stinking cameras are right there. Now I can kind of see. There's a 3 takedown for Real Woods.
I didn't see exactly
Looked like
what
a
it
little
was.
slide by to me too, and it came all the way around behind. And that's going to do it. 3rd period about over. That's going to do it. Real Woods is going to win 8-4 over Hardy.
So he will move on to take on Limley of Michigan, a rematch from the dual meet where he got whooped up on. And that is going to bring out Jared Franek taking on the number 8 seed Joey Blaze of Purdue. Beat him 2-1 in the dual meet.
Excuse me. Lemley won over Moore. I didn't even see that one.
Yeah. Penn State with Nagau's win is up to 143. Michigan 109. Nebraska 92.5. And then the Hawks will jump back up into 3rd place. They'll be at 95.5 with Real Woods' win.
Well, the Hawks just split with Nebraska there. Wish we could have gotten both of those. Would have been really nice between Teskey's match and Real Woods' match. But, man, did the Hawks need that match out of Real right there. Whew. That was a big match for Real. And now, right away again, here we go. A mat 2 again for Franek. We just can't catch a break.
I know it.
Everybody in the top half's on 2. Caliendo, he's going to be on 1. Kennedy's going to be on 1.
No, Kennedy's on 3.
Oh,
Kennedy's
really?
on deck on 3.
Well, that's even better yet. Until they start wrestling and that whole entire front of the mat's filled up with people.
Right. Yeah, it's nice being a little bit closer, but we just need to be a few rows higher. Another shot there by Franek, but they go out of bounds. No points scored. 1 minute off the clock here in the first period.
Well, at 125 pounds here, a real quick recap. Drake Ayala with a 4-1 win over Rutgers Peterson. That was big for Drake. He's going to be taking on Matt Ramos from Purdue for third place later this afternoon. Ramos from Purdue was the number 1 seed coming in and got beat by Peterson, who Drake just beat. Ramos, obviously, who pinned Spencer Lee at the Nationals last year. And then at 133 pounds, it was Brody Teske losing an absolute barn burner in overtime to Van Dee of Nebraska. Man, did that erupt a lot of fireworks between the Nebraska coaching staff and the Iowa coaching staff and the two teams all behind those matches. That match lasted probably, 20 minutes?
Easily.
Oh, man. But I credit Teske so much. The kid has just wrestled his heart out and trying to make the most of every opportunity he can out here on the mat. And it's just a heartbreaking loss for him. At 141 pounds, Real Woods just won a big match on the same mat.
As Franek in on a shot and gets both ankles secured for the 3. So something he didn't do against Blaze.
No.
In the dual meet is get a takedown.
So Real just beat Hardy from Nebraska, which is funny because just as soon as that Teske and Van Dee match from Nebraska got over and all the fireworks that going on there, and then Hardy and Real Woods come up and wrestle each other on the exact same mat. So none of it even it just carries right on over to the next match, and it's just a barn burner.
Blaze off the restart gets up to his feet, out for the escape. So that makes it 3-1. Rob leads 1-0 in the third period. Plus he has riding time on mat number 1. No score in the second period for Taylor and Amin on mat number 3. Now there is the escape for Taylor.
Franek with that bandage wrapped around his head, that nasty, nasty cut he got, I think was that in the quarters?
Yeah.
Right above his eyebrow, or right above his eyelashes, kind of below his eye, right below the eyebrow on that bone, and a lot of stitches all the way down through the muscle, all the muscle tissue. He's got a nice, good old shiner here today. Nice black eye.
That might have been his first match. I think it was his first match
was
yesterday.
It?
Yeah.
It was bad. I've been on the other end of that too many times. That's no fun. A lot of blood, a lot of blood quick when you get hit right on the bridge, right there on that eye socket, right above there.
First period comes to an end. Franek on top, 3-1.
Good job, Franek. That's a good first period for Franek. Who's over this? Rob just went down here. Yeah, Rob of Nebraska.
Won by riding time.
Over Lee.
So that'll put Nebraska back ahead of the Hawkeyes.
Yeah, that's the other thing we didn't talk about. The team race between Nebraska and Iowa for third place right now. They're within a half a point coming in today, and they just keep flip-flopping back and forth. That's a big match for Nebraska right down here on mat number 3 against Amin of Michigan.
Michael Caliendo coming out on mat number 1, taking on Moore of Illinois. Beat him by Tech Fall in the dual meet. Love to see that happen again here right now.
We could use the bonus points.
.30 seconds gone by. Second period over there for Franek. Leads 3-1. He's up to 47 seconds built towards his riding time.
I'm not sure what just happened to
Caliendo. Took a finger to the eye.
He came out hard, though, using his hands, moving his feet, doing really, really, really well. I don't know if it was. I think it was concussion.
Might be a concussion thing.
He just got dinged right there, like he's seen some stars or something. Doc Peterson right there in the corner. Concussion protocol right now for Caliendo.
Franek on a mat return almost put Blaze to his back. Doc Peterson going to take Caliendo to the back and then check him out. 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Iowa's deficit now 1, 52-51 in Minneapolis at the Women's Basketball Championship.
Wow. Didn't even see that. Been watching all this wrestling here.
1 minute to go, second period. Franek gives the escape. He's got riding time at 1:20. Leads 3-2 against Joey Blaze of Purdue. Blaze, double wrist lock.
I have to stop watching. Every time I watch, we throw the ball away. Every single time I turn and watch the computer, just for a second, we literally throw the ball away or we pass it to Nebraska. And then I look, and then I'm watching wrestling like I'm supposed to be, and then all of a sudden we're pretty much tied back up. So I just got to keep my eye off the computer. I'm jinxing the team.
Another low single there by Franek. Gets Blaze draped up over him. Blaze locked through our crotch, rolling through. Franek trying to scoot the hips, see if he can adjust on this. Blaze trying to lock through and elevate.
Come on up, Franek. Come up with it.
And there he had his 1 foot. Franek able to clear that out. Blaze diving over top of him again. Final seconds ticking away here in the second period. It will be a 3-2 lead for Franek as we go to the third. Franek will start down. He's got 1:21 of riding time. Franek gets set.
The women take the lead for the first time of the entire game, 53-52 right now.
First lead since 5-4 in the first quarter. Caution on Blaze for starting early.
Well, here we are, sudden victory between Amin and Taylor.
Franek to his
Franek
feet.
up to his feet, turns in.
Gets the leg.
Looking for a reversal right now.
Now he just clears up and gets one. So that'll make it 4-2, 5-2 with the riding time.
1:08 riding time. Here comes Franek back out.
Caliendo.
Or Caliendo, yeah.
Cleared from the concussion protocol, so get back underway. 2:40 to go in the first period. Thinking basketball, thinking wrestling, going back and forth between the two. Franek, another low single. Trying to elevate it. Right behind that camera so I can't see, and then they stop for potentially dangerous.
Moore and Caliendo just super physical with each other. That's how we got kind of dinged.
There's
but
a nice throw
shot right by
Moore tries
Caliendo.
to roll us through, but we trap him for three.
It's kind of like an underhook, slide into a knee and down to the ankles and follow through with a double leg right there by Caliendo. Great wrestling right there by Caliendo.
.45 seconds left for Franek. Leading 4-2. Has riding time as well.
Hey,
back
shot
in on
by
the leg
Franek.
again.
Nice
that
shot.
Time he tries
Come on,
to elevate
finish
it,
this
looking
shot.
to dump
You
him
gotta
down.
finish this shot, Franek.
Worried about the roll, so he's being careful.
No, don't trip with that leg. My goodness. Back leg.
Trying to dump him down. Blaze reaching back. Stepping over us.
Frank, I can't see because of the camera
Yeah,
now,
the camera's
but it looks
right in the
like
way.
he's just hanging on for dear life.
Blaze comes around on the side. Franek has riding time secured, so worst case it would go sudden victory. But Franek is going to hang on and get the win by a score of 5-2, so he will wrestle for third. Rematch with Rob.
That'll be a big head-to-head with Nebraska.
Caliendo releases Moore on mat number one, makes it 3-1. Mikey has 46 seconds built towards his riding time. He's back in, double, cuts off to the single. Couldn't quite get to the leg. Now trying to throw an underhook by. Comes up over-under situation. They go out of bounds.
Still all tied up in overtime between Amin and Taylor. Amin of Michigan, Taylor, Nebraska down there. 1 minute to go here in the first period for Caliendo and Moore on their feet. 3-1 right now for Caliendo. He's
shot by Moore. We almost got the go behind, but rolled through all the way. Now come back out front. Front head situation right on the edge of the mat. Stalemate. Back to the center. 45 on the clock.
I want to say hi to Ben Holscher tuning in all the way from California. Nice of you to tune in. I think we've gone from one coast to the other this weekend.
Yeah. Caliendo slide by to the ankle, missed it, comes right back in, trying to drive through. Moore going overhook. They slide out of bounds with 27 on the clock. Stall call right at the very end against Amin. Makes it 2-1, but Amin has the riding time. There's a stall call and a takedown for Caliendo. Makes it 6-1 at the very end of the first period. If you or someone you know needs support now, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. Caliendo will start down. There's the escape for Amin before they go out of bounds.
Oh, Taylor just got hurt, too. It's like he rolled his ankle. He can't afford to take injury time right now either.
Yeah. Caliendo gets the escape to start the second period, leads 7-1. And it looks like Amin is going to win.
Nice shot, Caliendo.
Over Taylor.
Another takedown for Caliendo. He's up 10-1 now. This would be an extra bonus point. Amin does win.
Caliendo. Not sure what Mikey's doing right there. Just kind of laying parallel. I'm going to get him for stalling.
Here comes Patrick Kennedy up on the mat right in front of us here.
Patrick taking on the number 5 seed Rocco Welsh of Ohio State. Keep an eye on both of these, mat 1 and 3. Kennedy and Welsh never wrestled before. We didn't mention it, but last night Patrick came out, he had a sleeve on his elbow, right side. Caliendo had an arm tuck in momentarily, but didn't get anywhere with it.
Caliendo just intentionally releases more now, makes it 10-2, but Caliendo does have 128 of riding time.
Caliendo gets a stall call again. That gives him a point. Makes it 11-2. Kennedy fights off a shot over there by Welsh.
Somebody's got blood over there. Welsh, it looks like.
Cut above his eye. 25 seconds left, second period for Caliendo. Big snap to clear the tie.
I'd like to see a tech here, Caliendo. Keep going here.
I'll be Telford telling him, hey, you only got 15 seconds. Figure something out here, stud. Not going to be able to, so it'll be 11-2 as we go to the third period. Moore's choice. He'll start down. Wow.
That's clutch.
Caliendo starts in the top position. Moore tripods up. Caliendo picks him up, puts him back down. Back to action on mat number 3 with Kennedy. Patrick, big snap into a front headlock. Now into a 2-on-1.
All right, come on, Caliendo. I'm hoping for a tech here. Patrick back under action over there. Him and
Welsh.
Welsh.
There's the escape for Moore. Makes it 11-3. 12-3 with the riding time. Caliendo into a front headlock, throws that underhook by and takes him down again.
Nice.
Let him go again. Let's
Underhook
go.
for a knee pick. That's what Telford's telling him,
Says
too.
2 more. Let him up 2 more. 14-3. There's the escape. Fresh start from the center. 14-4.
Patrick, got to get to the legs, kid. Let's go. 1 minute to go here in the first period. No shots fired yet.
Into a shot from a ways away, caught into a front headlock. Stalemate, 32 on the clock. Kennedy still trying to find that 2-on-1, not there. Comes back up into the collar. Sweep attempt by
Nice
Caliendo.
snap by
Headlock
Kennedy
attempt
right
by
there.
Moore. We slip through it, get this takedown. Come out, intentional release, 17-5. Caliendo comes back across, shot right on the edge of the mat, trying to limp arm out. Doing the splits is Moore. Now we're looking for a cradle, trying to roll it through, not there. Trying to pull him back in, 10 seconds left. Caliendo's got to hustle, gets around, trying to drive through, looking to dump him down, picks it up. Moore rolls through, they go out of bounds with 1 second left. He's going to come up just short.
That's why you had to go earlier, Steven.
I know it.
You don't wait until the very end. It was only another half a point, but half a point might be the difference between second and third or third and fourth. You don't know.
Caliendo is going to win 18-5 with the riding time, so he'll take on Amin of Michigan for third place. More blood for Kennedy's match. Got to wrap up Welsh's head again. Pioneer brand corn hybrids deliver proven performance bag after bag. Contact your local Pioneer sales rep to learn how you can get the most out of your acres. .15 seconds to go, first period for Patrick Kennedy. In the first period. And it looks like it will be scoreless. So we go to the second. Welsh choice. He will start down. Kennedy covers. Welsh into a sit out.
Ride tough here, Kennedy. Ride tough.
Patrick trying to pick him up around the waist to bring him down. Hand control and escape.
In on a
Kennedy
shot here.
Steps out of bounds. Tom Brand's wanting a stall call for stepping into Matt Nelson's lap off the edge, but won't get it.
Shot by Welsh right off the whistle. He's in deep on Patrick. Patrick has his legs back. I'm going to go to stalemate here.
1-0 lead for Welsh. 1:14 to go, second period. Consolation semifinals at 174 pounds.
You know, Gabe Arnold is a great teammate. He is down there in every single corner just coaching and helping and
He's
right
just a
there.
good guy to be around.
Yeah.
He's got a great bubbly personality, always positive. Will Carano down there as well.
Always talking.
Yeah. 45 to go, second period. Get one here, Patrick. Go a long ways. Tries following through with the front head.
Come on, Patrick. Pull the trigger, dude.
Fourth quarter just gets underway from the Target Center, tied up at 58.
What a game. Big comeback by the
That's where
Iowa
Nebraska
women's team.
took care of the Hawks, though. The Hawks were ahead. going into that, and Nebraska just pulled away from them.
Well, they just made a freaking 3 right there. Start the fourth quarter, so that's big for Nebraska. Come out firing with the 3.
Kennedy will go down to begin the third, trailing 1-0. Patrick to his feet. Welsh lets him out. There's the escape, so we're tied up at 1. Hawks creeping up into third place a little bit more. Penn State 143, Michigan 112.5, Iowa 103.5, and then Nebraska 96. Shot from Welsh from a ways away. Patrick able to sprawl back.
All right, come on, Patrick.
Got one attempt, but he was right on the edge.
It's not like Patrick not to fire off some shots. He's usually really good at getting shots off. We got 1 minute to go, all tied up 1-1. Right in time, not a factor. Neither guys really fired a lot of shots or got to the legs or done a whole lot. These guys have never wrestled each other before.
Patrick trying to get to his ankle pick, but Welsh keeps that leg clear. The other 174 Concy semifinals. Start of the third period. Turley of Rutgers a 7-3 lead over Sparks of Minnesota. Half attempt there by Welsh with 25 seconds to go. Another attempt. $15 to go in regulation. Not much to say. They're just doing hand fighting here.
It's going to go OT.
Tied up at 1.
I swear I keep smelling like propane gas.
Every now and again I catch
big
something.
Time,
yeah.
Like big time.
Patrick Kennedy tied up at 1. Sudden victory. Consolation semis.
Nice
Hits
shot.
A sweep. Head
Nice
to the
shot.
inside. Looking to elevate. He's got it up
Kennedy.
underneath the elbow.
Finish now. Finish now.
Well,
beautiful sweep right off the whistle.
Tries to dump him down a little bit. Looking to adjust on that leg. Drops down to the mat. And Welsh kicks away.
Man, that was a good shot.
.125 now in the sudden victory period. There's a nice deep double leg by Welsh. Patrick gets the arms down. Welsh cuts off to the single. Patrick hipping into him. Welsh trying to elevate. Looking to suck this in. Patrick hopping around on that left leg. Welch trying to trip us down and takes us down for 3.
Son of a gun.
Only shot he took all day.
Well, he made it count.
And
That's
he made it count. Don't let it come down to that. Well, we got some time for Bradley Hill. Let's step out and take a commercial break. We'll be back with more from Maryland right after this. You're listening to the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championships. This is Hawkeye Wrestling from Learfield.
Coralville Transit is now hiring part-time bus drivers. These positions offer flexible schedules of approximately 25 hours per week. Availability to work on Saturdays is a plus. Pay starts at $21.44 per hour, plus benefits. A health insurance option is available. Candidates must have or be able to obtain a current, valid commercial driver's license. Learn more and apply at coralville.org or call 319-248-1700. The City of Coralville is an equal opportunity employer.
A bag of corn is, well, a bag of corn. Unless it's a bag of Pioneer brand Chrome seed corn. Then you're dealing with the most optimized yield potential, agronomic performance, and insect protection the Pioneer lineup has to offer. A bag that will make life easier for you. 8 bushels per acre easier. And much harder for rootworms in the competition. Pioneer brand Chrome products. Field proven and ready for yours. Visit pioneer.com/plantchrome.
You wouldn't wear the same clothes every day, so why are you drinking only one kind of beer? Experience the largest area selection of craft beer at local craft cellar. Craft beer, non-alcoholic beverages, snacks, meats, and the hard stuff too. Bourbon, tequila, gin, and more. There really is something for everyone and every occasion at local craft cellar. Stop in today at 7085 C Avenue Northeast in Cedar Rapids, just north of Boyson Road.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network, this is Iowa Hawkeye Wrestling, presented by Pioneer.
We've all felt left out. And for people who move to this country, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hey Iowans, Luka Garza here. For me to get to the NBA, I've worked on my speed, precision, and my shot. For you to get to the NBA, all you need is the Iowa Lottery. First, play bonus multiplier scratch tickets and you could win up to $100,000. Then, enter non-winning tickets for your chance to win a VIP suite experience with the Minnesota Timberwolves, including food, hotel, and $1,000 cash. Plus, center court seats to see the Iowa Wolves. Enter today and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
This is Jordan Sekefetz here for my dad Brian and his True Blue crew at Dodge Street Tire. If you're wrestling with your car or truck, let their crew take care of you and your family with honest and quality award-winning service. For over 30 good years, Dodge Street Tire have been champions for Hawkeye fans everywhere, pinning down prices and problems for their neighbors. Don't let your vehicle's tires and troubles keep you from achieving your goals. Dodge Street Tire at the corner of Dodge and Church Street.
Wow, what a huge hit.
Well, not as huge as the craft beer selection at local craft cellar.
Looking for the largest selection of craft beer in the area? You'll find it all at Local Craft Cellar. On top of their massive selection of craft beer, wine, and spirits, Local Craft Cellar also stocks brats, jerky, bacon, and more from Edgewood Locker Meats, C Avenue Northeast in Cedar Rapids, just north of Boyson Road. And online at localcraftcellar.com. That's localcraftcellar.com.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
On the Hawkeye Sports Network, this is Iowa Hawkeye Wrestling, presented by Pioneer.
Welcome back to the Xfinity Center, the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championship. Consolation semifinals winding down. Hawkeyes in third place right now with 103.5 points. Nebraska in fourth with 96. Right now, Lenny Pinto of Nebraska wrestling on mat number 3. That's a rematch of the quarterfinals as he's taking on, or no, that was the other Rogotsky. He's taking on the number 4 seed, Ryder Rogotsky from Ohio State. He was in a tussle with Roman Rogotsky, who Aiden Riggins just beat 14-7. They got thrown back and forth. This time Pinto put Ryder Rogotsky to his back, so he's up by a score of 10-1 at the end of the first period. So potential bonus point there for the Cornhuskers. Mat number 1, Jackson Smith of Maryland, a 3-1 lead over Garrett Joles of Minnesota. Mat number 2, I think they've spent more time looking at the video screen than actually wrestling.
Mat 2 has just been one of the, if you were a table worker at Mat 2, you should be getting paid double today.
Right.
We're not getting paid at all because it might be your fault. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they have gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth of who's reviewing when, where, what, why, how. Right now, it shows 1:34 to go in the match, and Jackson Turley leads Andrew Sparks 7-5. They had put points on the board. They took points back off. And now it looks like it's going to be 7-5. Now an escape makes it 8-5 in favor of Turley. The winner of that will wrestle for third. The loser will wrestle Patrick Kennedy for fifth later this afternoon.
That's in the third with 1:20 to go. Patrick just didn't take enough opportunities.
Yeah.
Make enough opportunities happen for himself in that match. I was not like him. I mean, he took one shot in regulation that I saw. It was kind of on the edge. It was a decent shot. And then he didn't take another shot until overtime. Couldn't finish. And then Welsh, who didn't do anything either, did less than even. And then, but he only took one shot and he made it count. And actually, Patrick did a really good job fighting it off for quite a while. And just finally, Welsh was just so strong. Like, so strong. He just sucked those legs in. There wasn't much that Patrick could do.
Sparks got a takedown down there, and then Turley just reversed him. So Turley leads that 10-8.
20 seconds to go. Right time not a factor.
Ryder Rogotsky trying to get double overs against Lenny Pinto. Right now from Minneapolis. Hawks, last I saw, were down. They're not showing the score quite yet. Gonna have a locked hands call.
Oh, my goodness. Well, he can afford it, I guess. That's it.
Sparks is going to lose by a score of 10-9.
So Kennedy will have Sparks of Minnesota.
Bradley Hill is in the hole on that mat, so still a little bit of time. Minnesota talking to the refs, but I think they're finally going to clear that mat out. Hawks down by 2 with 4.5 minutes to go in Minneapolis. Now down 4 with 4:20 to go. Mat number 1, Jackson Smith, still a 3-1 lead in the second period. Pinto 14-4 lead over Ryder Rogotsky. Mat number 2 just getting underway. Allred of Nebraska taking on Geog of Ohio State. Don't tell me these matches aren't important to these coaches and these athletes. There's been a lot of challenges, a lot of heated discussions going on.
Yeah. I also noticed that Welsh gave Patrick a pretty good shove in the back after he took him down in overtime, too. I'm not sure that was all about because I didn't see Patrick really do anything to him, but it just gets heated out there.
Smith of Maryland looks like he's going to win. So he will wrestle for third as the number 2 seed.
Iowa women not faring very well right now. 73-67 with only 3 minutes to go. Nebraska just not missing much right now.
Pinto is going to win, but he lost his major decision. So Pinto and Bullock will wrestle for third. Again, 3.5 points for a win in this round. And then tonight, the finals are worth 4 points. All the other placement matches are worth 1 point. Joel's down 7-1 at the end of, I guess that's just the second period. So Smith.
I can't even stand to watch these women basketball anymore because, like, they take these dives and fake injuries and stuff and make it like we talked about yesterday. They literally should be. I think they go to acting school. I think it's a priority for them. They have to go to acting school in order to be on a basketball team. It's just the way that they're just like this one girl that Caitlin just ran into. Barely even touched her. She wasn't planted yet. And then she not only falls down and hits the ground, but then she keeps grabbing her stomach like Caitlin just freaking kneed her right in the gut or something. It's like, oh, my gosh. I don't know how Caitlin – I don't know how basketball players can hold their composure and stuff like that. It's like the other day when we were watching something, too, somebody got called for a foul, and I think it was a foul or something. Or maybe it was Kate Martin. I didn't even touch her. Like, literally didn't even touch her. And they would show the replay. She didn't even touch her. She literally fell straight back after she shot a three. And the referee must not have seen it, just assumed that she fouled. I don't know. But they showed the replay. Like, literally never even touched her. It's just, it's almost comical. But it's sad.
Let's take another quick timeout as we await Bradley Hill, the next Hawkeye to wrestle here in this session. Back with more from the Xfinity Center in Maryland. You're listening to Hawkeye Wrestling from Learfield.
You wouldn't wear the same clothes every day, so why are you drinking only one kind of beer? Experience the largest area selection of craft beer at local craft cellar. Craft beer, non-alcoholic beverages, snacks, meats, and the hard stuff too. Bourbon, tequila, gin, and more. There really is something for everyone and every occasion at local craft cellar. Stop in today at 7085 C Avenue Northeast in Cedar Rapids, just north of Boyson Road.
Elevate your outdoor living space this year using stone. Tanzite has developed stone decking crafted without any plastic composite materials to redefine durability. Visit Tanzite.com to see how stone decking doesn't scratch, stays cooler, isn't slippery, and has all the durability you would expect from stone, which is why it's guaranteed for life. At Tanzite.com, you will see how we developed stone to easily transform any ordinary wood deck. You can even make your deck waterproof for a dry space below. Versatile and adaptable, Tanzite is perfect for decks, stairs, over concrete, or ground applications. Visit Tanzite.com to start planning your project with a free 3D design and construction plan tailored to your space. Order a sample today to witness the incredible beauty and durability firsthand at Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com.
Escape to Italy and Sicily in September 2024 with Travel Leaders, Destinations Unlimited. Enjoy this melting pot of multicultural customs and cuisine and beautiful landscapes. After taking in Rome, we'll head down to the dramatic Sorrento coast and then journey from Italy's heel to its toe of Sicily. To learn more about this or any vacation, contact Travel Leaders, Destinations Unlimited at DUAgency.com. That's DUAgency.com.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network, this is Iowa Hawkeye Wrestling, presented by Pioneer.
Mark Ironside at the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championship. Last few consolation semifinal matches going on right now. Lucas Davison of Michigan just gets a takedown against Nash Hutmaker of Nebraska at the end of the first period, so he leads there. Bradley Hill will take on either the winner or loser of that. Mat number 1, Smith of Maryland, a 7-2 lead as there is a video review against Joels of Minnesota. And on mat number 2, injury time looks like as Silas Allred leading 4-0 against Luke Geog of Ohio State. Hawkeye women had cut the lead to 15 to go. Caitlin Clark thinking for a step back. Now finds a teammate in the corner for 3, so it's a 2-point game with a minute to go. Looks like Allred is going to win by injury default, so that'll be 2 bonus points for the Cornhuskers. There, Davison takes Hutmaker to his back. And there's the fall for Davison. So Hutmaker will drop down to wrestle for fifth. Bradley Hill coming out on mat number 2. Hill taking on the number 4 seed Yaroslav Slavakowski of Rutgers. Number 4 seeded. Ranked in the top 10, I believe. Transfer from Harvard. Starting the 7th place matches. 133 on to mat number 3. Dustin Norris of Purdue against Caden Rooks of Indiana. Hill underway on mat number 2. You and I should have just bought tickets in that corner over there. Figured out a wireless setup. Don't you think that would have been a good idea if you and I just bought tickets over there and got a wireless mic?
I do.
30 seconds left. The Hawks just tie it up at 77. Nebraska ball.
Who made that shot? Did you see?
I didn't see.
Caitlin is really, really, really upset about something here. Oh, probably not.
I think she's excited because she.
No, she didn't get a foul, I don't think. She made the basket but didn't get the foul call.
Hill, a minute gone by, first period, no score, down on mat number 2. Bradley got hurt in the quarterfinals. We weren't sure if he was even going to wrestle last night. They only take the top 7. Not only did he wrestle, came through and got a major decision in the round of 12 to finish, get himself into the top 8. And then he picks up a win over the number 6 seed Wilhelm of Indiana to automatically punch his ticket to Kansas City. Now he's got a chance to potentially get up as high as 3rd. If he can get a win here over Slavakowski. The winner will take on the 3 seed Lucas Davison of Michigan. The loser will drop down and take on the 10 seed Hutmaker of Nebraska. 1 minute to go, first period, no score. Big snap by Bradley Hill.
Boy, did he look good last night. That's the best I've ever seen him wrestle last night.
Yeah.
After he got hurt. Of course, he has to be on mat, too. Hey, there's your boy. Yell at him, tell him those people to move the cameras. Tell him to come sit right in between us.
Sit right between us and see what we're seeing.
Come check out our view right now.
Hill, 25 seconds left. Couple of good snaps, but has not been able to pull the trigger towards the leg. I was disappointed because somebody else was wrestling at the same time last night, and I missed how Bradley got the win against Wilhelm. Now it is official for Smith with the win. No score for Hill at the end of 1. Feel the excitement as NASCAR returns to the Iowa Speedway with Powerball and the Iowa Lottery. Add the double play bonus to your Powerball ticket for your chance to win exclusive NASCAR prizes. See complete rules and details at ialottery.com/VIP. Slavakowski quickly up to his feet for the escape.
The Allred win?
He won by injury default.
That's why I never seen him really
well,
wrestle.
Medical injury default. Geog got hurt during the match and had to hang it up. Nebraska shot at the buzzer, no good. So we're going to overtime in Minneapolis. And as I say that, takedown for Slavakowski against Bradley Hill. Slide out of bounds, head back to the center.
I missed it. I didn't get to see it. They take it for ways away or under the basket?
It was about a 18-footer from the left wing.
77-77 overtime. What a game. What a great job by that Iowa women's.
They were down by as many
basketball.
as 13.
Yeah, coming back, fighting back.
Barnett of Wisconsin, Smith of Nebraska. 7th place match at 125 on mat number 1. Barnett with the takedown. 1:05 to go, second period. Bradley Hill. Still underneath Slavakowski.
So I'm getting that whiff of
I know, I just
propane again.
Out of bounds once more.
Hill's got to get out here, Steven.
He does. It'll be his choice in the third period, too, so we'll see what he chooses.
He's going to give up ride time here pretty soon.
It's got 33 seconds built towards it. Out of bounds with 38 seconds to go. 43 seconds towards riding time.
Hill losing 4-0 right now.
Barnett gets a 2-point reversal. So he leads 5-2 after he got reversed. Now he's getting near falls.
Iowa gets the ball off of the jump, which is huge. Come on, Hill.
Bradley Hill's got riding time against him now. Stall call on Slavakowski in the top position.
Slavakowski is a big boy.
Chris Bono is hot about something.
He's been pretty hot. I mean, there's been a lot of coaches hot this tournament. I seen Roger Chandler of Michigan State earlier this morning really, really upset. Like, he did not let that referee, like, off the hook either. The match was over. He was right there when he walked off. He walked all the way around. And then he followed him off to the mat. He followed him out back. I mean, he was really hot.
Hill's going to go neutral. 4-0 deficit, plus he has riding time against him. Hawks have scored the first 5 in overtime to lead 82-77.
I see Kate Martin just make a 3, did she?
Somebody did. I
think it was Kate Martin.
Nebraska has jumped back ahead of the Hawkeyes by 1.5 points.
In wrestling.
In wrestling, yes. Sorry. There's a nice sweep by Bradley Hill.
Nice shot by Hill.
Slavakowski able to get his hips squared back up, though.
Slavakowski did a really good job there squaring his hips.
Minute 10 to go now for Bradley Hill. After this, they'll have all of the 7th place matches, and then they will do the championship of the 9th place brackets. Which we will have Aiden Riggins taking on the number 14 seed Chase Mielnick of Maryland. Hill taps the head, drop to a knee. Couldn't follow through with it, though. 45 seconds left. 82-81 now, and the Hawks just turned it over. So they missed a bucket. Nebraska scored, then they turned it over. So Hill again tries getting to that sweep attempt.
Can't shoot ourselves in the foot there. Don't help him out. Don't just hand him over the ball. Hill just doesn't have an answer for Slavovsky.
Yeah.
There's a shot from ways away right there. Gets a stall call and a stall point for Hill, but a little bit too late there.
He will lose by a score of 5-1. He will drop down and have a rematch with Hutmaker for 5th place. We're going to step out, take another timeout. We'll be back with more from Maryland as we await Aiden Riggins, the last Hawkeye to wrestle this session. Back with more from Maryland. You're listening to the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championships. This is Hawkeye Wrestling from Learfield.
In today's Marketers Report, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, weighs in on the speed of audio production.
In this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy, and that's what I really like about it.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Score bonus savings on better sleep at Mattress Firm's Friends and Family Sale. Save up to $700 with your extra discount and a free adjustable base on select beds. If you see a lower price, we'll match it. Restrictions apply.
Some people just know bundling with Allstate means big savings. Just like they know the right ingredient means big flavor. They know honey on pizza is where it's at, and olive oil on ice cream is the cherry on top. And they know when you bundle home and auto with Allstate, you can save up to 25%.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hello, this is Jamie Heimer with Pinnacle Realty. My team and I would like to help you with your real estate goals and needs. Feel free to give me a call at 319-651-9617. Again, this is Jamie Heimer with Pinnacle Realty. Your property, our priority.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network, this is Iowa Hawkeye Wrestling, presented by Pioneer.
The Hawkeyes play here on AM 800 KXIC, Iowa City's Hawkeye sports leader.
Danny Pacino of Illinois against Vance Vombauer of Minnesota in the 7th place bout at 141. Mat number 2 is 149. Joseph Zargo of Wisconsin against Graham Rooks of Indiana. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the Hawks went 4-4 in that first session. Drake Ayala with a 4-1 win over Dean Peterson of Rutgers, so he will wrestle for 3rd against Matt Ramos of Purdue. Brody Teske thought he had a win in sudden victory, but they reviewed it and gave a takedown to Van D earlier in a scramble. So Brody Teske will drop down and wrestle for 5th. And he will be taking on the number 7 seed Braxton Brown of Maryland. At 141 pounds, Real Woods gets a late takedown to secure an 8-4 win over Brock Hardy. Woods will take on the number 5 seeded Limley of Michigan in the 3rd place match. Caleb Rachi defeated 8-1 by Tyler Kazak of Penn State. Rachi will drop down and take on the 5 seeded Dylan DeAmelio of Ohio State for 5th place. At 157, Jared Franek a 5-2 win over Joey Blaze of Purdue. He will have a rematch with Peyton Robb of Nebraska, who he defeated 7-3 in the quarterfinal round of this tournament. Michael Caliendo picks up an 18-5 major decision against Chris Moore of Illinois. He'll have a rematch of Cameron Amin, the number 6 seed from Michigan, who he defeated in sudden victory in the quarterfinal round. At 174, Patrick Kennedy taken down in sudden victory. He loses by a score of 4-1 to Rocco Welsh of Ohio State. Kennedy will take on the number 9 seed Sparks of Minnesota for 5th place. And then Bradley Hill just dropped a 5-1 decision against number 4 Yaroslav Slavakowski of Rutgers. Hill will drop down and have a rematch with the number 10 seeded Nash Hutmaker, who he defeated in the first round of the tournament by a score of 4-2. So Caitlin Clark with a steal. Under a minute to go, the Hawks up by 2 in the women's basketball Big Ten Championships. 37.2 seconds to go. Is Clark shooting free throws?
Yeah.
They fouled her once they got the ball. She needs to make at least one of these.
Pacino and Vombauer, no score at the end of one. Graham Rooks leads Zargo 6-1 at the end of one. And no score. The other match just coming out on mat number 3 is at 174 pounds. Max Mailer of Wisconsin against Brody Bauman of Purdue.
That's huge. Made them both.
4-point lead.
With 37 seconds left.
Both.
We got the game on, Matt.
Hey, you got a shout out, but for a negative. You were standing right in my sight line for Teskey's match. You were sitting here waiting for Riggins, and you were right where I was trying to watch Brody Teskey. Just standing there. Just off in La La Land. Matt Nelson, everybody. All those video highlights that you see on social media, Matt Nelson is the one that does those. He is great at his job.
What do you got going on?
He is a great navigator, taking us around Washington, D.C., figuring out the metro system.
Hey, speaking of that, Nelly, we still owe you for the Washington Monument. He bought our tickets.
We bought tickets, and then we ended up not going, but it is a whopping $1 per ticket, so he wasn't super concerned. 37 seconds left in that basketball game. Hawks leading by 4. Be smart.
No fouling. No fouling. Oh, yes,
nice
a block
block
by Gabby Marshall.
And then the Hawks take a timeout.
Gabby, look at Gabby fired up.
Oh, man. Hawks supporting Hawks.
Defense. I love seeing Gabby fired up. We don't have any Hawks. There's no, really wrestling going on right now that much. So
we're killing time till Aiden Riggins.
I'm surprised when she blocked that ball, that girl didn't, try to fall down and act like she got fouled or something there.
We've had a lot of reviews today, too. That's taken things a lot longer than they should have. What doesn't take a long time is getting your car worked on at Dodge Street Tire and Auto. They're locally owned and operated, voted best of the area for the 10th consecutive year. They proudly support Hawkeye Wrestling, and they do a phenomenal job. Trust Dodge Street Tire for honest auto repair and the best deals on Goodyear and Toyo tires. Dodge Street Tire and Auto celebrating over 30 good years on the corner of Dodge and Church Streets in Iowa City. Brian and the gang are Hawkeyes through and through. They are the definition of bleeding black and gold, whether it's wrestling, football, men's or women's basketball, even some of the other sports that maybe don't get as much publicity, but they are big fans of it. Brian's a great guy, great asset to the community, member of the Moose Lodge. Greatly appreciate their support, along with all of our sponsors. We always wait till the very end of the broadcast, Mark, but you and I as business owners recognize that you want to see, are your advertising dollars working? And it goes a long ways that these people are willing to sponsor Hawkeye Wrestling on the Iowa Hawkeye Radio Network and go in and support them. Tell them thanks. I had a long conversation with, I just asked the other day, Ryan.
Scuffwood?
No, from the Xavier coach that was.
Oh, Chambers.
Yeah, Ryan Chambers. He came down from Cedar Rapids and had a chat with me. Just sat and talked to him for a while. I've had a lot of other fans that'll come in. You get the same thing, people stopping in. It's great to know that people hear us. We get text messages all the time, but we're not possible to be here without those sponsors. And so anything that you can do to go support them, tell them thank you. Might be a little hard to maybe go buy Pioneer corn if you're not a farmer, but you can still find ways to let it be known that you recognize that and appreciate their support. So huge thank you to all of our sponsors, both on the Hawkeye Radio Network and locally on AM 800 KXIC.
So, a lot of very loyal sponsors that we have, and local sponsors, and not great, big, huge, large corporations. It's neat to see, and it's kind of like the wrestling world. It's a family commitment in lots of different levels. I'd love to see it.
On the mats right now, 1-1 in the third period between Pacino of Illinois and Vombauer of Minnesota. 5-4 is the lead for Graham Rooks of Indiana against Joseph Zargo of Wisconsin. And on mat number 3, no score after the first 2 periods. Max Mailer of Wisconsin now leads 1-0, plus he has riding time. He is taking on Brody Bauman of Purdue. Team scores from the bottom up. Northwestern is in 14th with 14.5 points. Michigan State has 22.5. Illinois 28. Indiana has 30. Maryland is in 10th place with 39, 1/2 point behind Purdue at 39.5. Wisconsin 45.5. Minnesota 66. Rutgers 78.5. Ohio State in 5th with 82. Hawkeyes in 4th with 103.5. 1.5 points behind Nebraska at 105. Nebraska got an injury default, so 2 bonus points right there. So
that's huge.
Big difference in the team race. Michigan, I think, has locked up second place with 122.5, and Penn State theoretically could lose the title, but for all intents and purposes, they have locked it up with 143. They have 7 in the finals. They still have 2 wrestling for third place here later on this afternoon. Kate Martin makes 1, misses the second, and Hannah Stolke with the rebound. And does she get fouled, I believe?
Well, if you're going to foul somebody on the Iowa team, you want to foul Hannah Stolke, who just missed 2. But I'm not sure if she got fouled or if they called it a jump ball.
3 takedown over there in sudden victory.
Yeah, I don't think she got fouled. I think that was a bad call. Should have just been our ball in our possession.
Vombauer, the 10 seed.
Oh, my gosh.
She get it?
Yeah, you should have seen her, too. She was, moving her hips and trying to get the ball to fall.
Vance Vombauer from Minnesota finishes in 7th place, so another point for the Golden Gophers. Both free throws good. 5-point lead for the Hawkeyes. 17 seconds left.
Well, they've got to hit 3 now.
Don't foul them.
Yeah, do not foul.
Oh,
nice
and they knocked the ball out of bounds with 5 seconds left.
Gabby is the defense demon. For that little short little thing, she knows she is just scrappy as can be.
Max Mailer of Wisconsin, the number 7 seed, finishes in 7th place. Rooks.
Oh, and Caitlin with the steal right there. Game over.
Hawks repeat as the Big Ten champions, 94-89, coming from behind. And good chance they will now have secured a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Graham Rooks, the 8 seed, defeats the number 7 seed Zargo of Wisconsin. I think 149, I'd have to look, but I think it's the only weight that the top 8 seeds finish in the top 8, just not where they were supposed to. But I think every other weight you had somebody seated lower than 8 that got into the podium. Let's see. It takes a little while to get some of these updated. Well, congrats to Lisa Bluter and the Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball team.
Caitlin and Kate Martin there, give her a big old hug.
Mat number 3, new match coming up. John Poznansky of Rutgers taking on Evan Bates of Northwestern. That is the 197 7th place match. 165 7th place bout on mat number 2. Blaine Brenner of Minnesota against Stony Buell of Purdue. We're going to take another time out as we await Aiden Riggins, the final Hawkeye 2 wrestle this session. We'll be back with more from the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championships live from College Park, Maryland, and the Xfinity Center right after this. This is Hawkeye Wrestling from Learfield.
Ah, winter, with its cold, dry air causing that not-so-nice winter nose feeling. Thankfully, you don't have to wait for warmer weather to clear sinus congestion and send winter nose packing. All you need is Navage Nasal Care. Navage helps soothe the inflamed nasal passages that are often part of colds and infections. It flushes a pure, refreshing saline solution through your sinuses to give you the soothing moisture you need. Navage also sucks out the other irritants trapped in your nose, viruses, dust, bacteria, and germs too. Winter might feel like it drags on forever, but Navage works quickly, helping you breathe more clearly in just 30 seconds. No decongestants required. Navage is a drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Get Navage today and make winter a little more bearable. Navage is available online at Navage.com or in stores at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/credit card.
What's up? I'm John Wall.
And I'm CJ Toledano, and we're starting a new podcast presented by DraftKings called Point Game.
Okay, you know, like at camps and stuff like this, you take the ball out. You ain't getting the ball back. Like, you the last one up in court. They already did their thing. So I stopped there, and I just got into a rhythm and started hooping.
If King of the Court happened next season, who do you think would win?
I just think KD, bro. Like, there's nothing you can do with him.
Check out Point Game with John Wall and CJ Toledano on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network, this is Iowa Hawkeye Wrestling, presented by Pioneer.
To Maryland, the Xfinity Center, Stephen Grace and Mark Ironside working through 7th place bouts. Waiting for the 184 9th place bracket championship, which will be Aiden Riggins taking on the number 14 seed Chase Mielnick of Maryland. Mielnick got a win over the 11 seed Dylan Connell last night, pinned him in sudden victory, and then handled the number 9 seed Troy Fisher of Northwestern. So the 14 and the 13 trying to get the 9th place finish in the tournament this year.
Well, that's up. That is up. On before Riggins. Come on, Riggins.
And they've got, they don't have any of the, there's only one deep on each of the mats. So team race, Iowa and Nebraska can both, well, let's see, Nebraska had one in the 7th place matches. We're head-to-head twice, but you only score 1 point for a win on these backside 3rd or 5th place bouts. So win the 2 head-to-head. They lost their 7th place match at 125.
Well, that's a difference in that injury default that they got. I mean, we'd be ahead by half a point right now.
Yep. And then you look, if we get the win against Van D, that's a 7-point swing right there.
Yeah, that was big. That was a big, big match. But then they're sitting back there going, if we get that win against Real Woods,
that's 7 points there, yeah.
But, yeah, that was a big match for Nebraska, that win of Van D over Teskey. And that's why a lot of that, it's why it was as heated as it was. And why those coaches were getting after it, and they were so upset with the referees. And what a match.
That's why we always talk, though, even Mikey Caliendo, towards the very end, trying to get a shot, ran out of space, ran out of time. It's only a half point. But you get that half point 2 or 3 times. You get that major instead of a 7-point win 2 or 3 times. Suddenly you start to work yourself up to, 4, 5, 6 more points that you've got. And give us 6 more points right now, and we're comfortably in third place. But definitely a situation that you got to be thinking about scoring as many points as you can every time you're out on that mat.
That's the key. That's the goal. Every time you step foot on the mat, from the first whistle to the last, you wrestle like it's the last second. You do. You just do. I mean, if there's time left, you're trying to score. Obviously, sometimes you got to be smarter than others, but you need to be looking to score points at all times. That's why, Tom talked a little bit about Glazier last night being upset after that match against Smith. That wasn't him, and we were saying that too on the radio here. He wasn't offensive like he normally is, but it was a smart match by him, and you got to be smart sometimes. But he was upset because that's not how he typically competes. And same thing with Patrick Kennedy in that last match. How bad would he like to have those 3 minutes in that first period back or the second period back?
Right. Looking through, trying to get some of the matchups for tonight. Our session this evening this afternoon, starts at 4:30 here in Maryland, so 3:30 Iowa time, so still a couple hours away. So as soon as Riggins is done, we will sign off, take a little break, find some refreshments, and then be back on at 4:30, and they will run through the first, third, and fifth place matches at all 10 weight classes. Malcheski wins at 184 in the 7th place bout, the number 6 seed. And heavyweight, we close things out. Starting to get those 9th place matches going on. Again, several of these weights are taking 9, 10, or 11, as is the case at, I think it was 174. They're taking 11 guys. So they need to wrestle all the way through all of it. For Aiden Riggins, trying to get himself the 9th place finish, give himself a better chance for an at-large bid, but based on his resume and everything, just depends on where everybody else is. Poznansky Tech fall at 197 to move on. Let's see here. Let me do that, followed by that, followed by that. 57 is on deck, 49. I'll wait for those to refresh. Just getting underway on mat number 3, Drew Roberts of Minnesota and Michael Chetta of Rutgers. Mat number 2, Stoney Buell with the win at 165 for Purdue. The number 7 seed wins. Got pinned by Brenner of Minnesota in the opening round, but comes back and reverses that.
That's always good when you can come back and reverse matches. Hopefully that doesn't happen to us in a couple ways here.
Yeah. Throughout the Iowa Corn Cyhawk Series, Iowa Corn promotes values that are uniquely Iowan. On behalf of Iowa's corn farmers, we salute all athletes for their hard work and determination, both on and off the field. Just like our athletes, our state leads the nation in corn and ethanol production. Follow Iowa Corn on Facebook to learn how corn grows Iowa. Heavyweight 7th place bout. 6 seed Willem of Indiana against the 5 seed Neville's of Maryland. And this is one of those. They're only taking 7 at heavyweight automatically. So whoever wins automatically gets in. The loser will have to wait for a few days to see if they get an at-large bid.
That's Neville's versus who?
Willem of Indiana, excuse me. And that's who Bradley Hill beat last night in the consolation quarterfinals. Ohio State and Rutgers duking it out for 5th place, it looks like. I'm not sure if Rutgers will be able to catch them, but they could make a game of it. Said that heavyweight match is the last of the 7th place bouts that are scoring points for the team. Jessica would be proud. I think I have my bracket all the way filled out.
I'm proud of you.
It helps when you get a fresh one at the start of the session, and
it does. That helps a lot.
It's already filled out. You just have to write in who wins and who loses. But sometimes you get locked in on our guys, and you write down their win. You don't pay attention to the other one. So many times you hear Mark and I like, who won that match? Not necessarily caring about who won it. We just want to make sure our brackets are filled out the rest of the way.
It looks pretty. It's a completion, and it's a completion thing. It's kind of like you just want things done and done right, and you can see something that, you started something, you finished something. There's going to be a big basketball game tonight.
Yeah.
I was South Carolina versus my nephew was telling about South Carolina versus LSU.
Ooh, that'll be good.
In the finals for that.
I was thinking in Iowa City at I think
it's
6:30, Iowa against Illinois. I saw something. I was asking Matt Nelson on the bus ride back over to the hotel last night because I think they had Big Ten Network on, and it went to like Northwestern Minnesota basketball. And I was like, I don't even know what the scenarios are. Like, who would we rather have win? And, obviously, there's so many things to take effect. But I saw a tweet last night, and they had, with the number of games, it was like 30 or 35 different scenarios. Like, if this team, this team, this team, and this team wins, or if this team, that team, this, basically all the different scenarios of who wins and where teams will finish. And for the Hawkeye men, obviously they need to win. That would help. But they could finish as high as 4th in the conference, depending on if everything fell into place perfectly.
They've had
Worst they could do is 7th place.
They've had a really good second half of their season.
Yeah. They're a bubble team. A win today would go a long ways towards hopefully getting them into the NCAA tournament, the big dance. But Illinois is a tough out anytime you see them. So, yeah, should be some interesting matchups. Men's and women's side. We were talking about that coming in. LSU brought back most of their team on the women's side, and they brought in Haley Van Lith from Louisville, and haven't been doing quite as well this year. They're top 10 team, but a lot of people think defending national champions, you add talent to it, but sometimes that changes the makeup, the chemistry.
Yeah.
She's used to being the go-to person. She's not getting her shots, changes things up. Or she gets some of those shots, takes it away from some of the others, and that's not a knock on any of those players individually. It's just, it's kind of the nature of the beast. And that's where you see the good teams. That's what makes the Hawkeye women so good.
That's a perfect example with Iowa.
Caitlin Clark struggled at times in this tournament. Everybody's like, oh, man, Caitlin's not scoring. Are the Hawks going to be able to do it? They put up over 90 points every game. And, yeah, Caitlin got her 25 or 30, but she wasn't doing it on a consistent basis. The first game she missed, for 7, 8 shots, 10 shots, something like that. She was 1 for 11 from three-point range.
It's not
Gabby
just
Marshall,
the
Kate
offense.
Martin.
Yeah, it's not just the offense
A
either. It's
filter.
about what these girls are doing on the defense as well. I mean,
Yep.
Gabby Marshall had some huge defensive plays in that game just now against Nebraska that just were like game-changing, like literally game-changing.
And heads up, too. That one, she got the block, got it, and
Timeout.
before she could allow him to foul, she takes a timeout. And with the women's rules, you get to move it down beyond half court.
Yep.
And that was just a veteran heads-up play.
That's why I think I enjoy watching the women's basketball so much. It's just it's not really it's not the Caitlin Clark show for me. It's how
the team aspect,
aspect of it, and the chemistry, and how they all kind of rally around each other, and it makes a huge difference in the dynamic of a team when you get girls or boys or whatever the team is, whatever the sport is, basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, and they can all rally around each other and help each other, pick each other up, and a lot of times that beats, as what we're talking about with LSU talent. And same thing with wrestling as well, too. We were just talking about Gabe Arnold down there just screaming and yelling behind every single match and yelling and coaching and being there for his teammates. You just love to see it. Him and Keeter both wanting to be here next year, competing in this.
Suppose Tom would come up if I ran down and asked him to come talk to us for 10 minutes?
No. I don't think so. If you want to bring up anybody, bring up Doc Peterson down there. He's been busy.
Yeah.
He just probably can't give you all the information that you want to.
Yes, I've been busy. What have you been doing? HIPAA. Who you been working on? HIPAA.
Yeah.
What have you done to him? HIPAA.
Ask a question. Next. Okay, what about this? Next. All right, good talk.
That's the fun thing for us is we don't pursue that information very much, but we've created those relationships where if we're around, if we hear some of those things, they know that we're not going to take it any further than that. In this day and age, it's like, hey, I got to be the first to put something on social media, and ooh, look at this tidbit. You're able to get better access that opens you up to some other things when you establish that trust. It goes a long ways. I mean, heck, that was, I'm at the team meeting Friday night getting ready, and that's where I learned about what they were going to do with the challenge stuff. There was a lot of other things in that meeting that aren't going to make it to air because that was just for the team. Nothing crazy, but just, but I did learn that one little tidbit, and it was useful for us. And that is something that we can share. So,
well, I'm glad you went to the meeting. I was still watching the end of the women's game.
Yeah. Robbie Westerman. Suppose he's got a spot for your shoulder surgery coming up?
He seems a little busy. That was funny.
Roberts of Minnesota wins at 149. Let's take one more quick break here as we await Riggins. We'll be back with more from Maryland right after this. You are listening to the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championships. This is Hawkeye Wrestling from Learfield.
When you wake up well-rested on a great mattress, everything becomes clear.
Wow, I'm a morning person.
Things you missed when you were tired finally reveal themselves.
I should not use a chatbot to write my wedding vows.
This is your official invite to Mattress Firm's Friends and Family Sale. Save up to $700 with the Friends and Family discount. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. See a lower price? We'll match it. The right mattress matters. We'll find yours. Restrictions apply. See store website for details.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate, or hiring someone to move your piano instead of doing it yourself. So, do things the better way. Bundle home and auto and save up to 25% with Allstate.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Ah, winter, with its cold, dry air causing that not-so-nice winter nose feeling. Thankfully, you don't have to wait for warmer weather to clear sinus congestion and send winter nose packing. All you need is Navage Nasal Care. Navage helps soothe the inflamed nasal passages that are often part of colds and infections. It flushes a pure, refreshing saline solution through your sinuses to give you the soothing moisture you need. Navage also sucks out the other irritants trapped in your nose, viruses, dust, bacteria, and germs too. Winter might feel like it drags on forever, but Navage works quickly, helping you breathe more clearly in just 30 seconds. No decongestants required. Navage is a drug-free solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Get Navage today and make winter a little more bearable. Navage is available online at Navage.com or in stores at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you right now, like Alternative Rewind, where all rock began. Just search Alternative Rewind and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Welcome back to Maryland, the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championships. Stephen Grace, Mark Ironside at the Xfinity Center in Maryland. Willem of Indiana wins 7th place, so that closes out the scoring matches for this session. One final Hawkeye yet to wrestle here. Aiden Riggins, a 24-14 win over the number 10 seed Roman Rogatsky of Indiana. 4 takedowns in the first. Gives him a 12-4 lead, put up 8 points in the second, and then hangs on for the 24-14 major decision. Let's see. Messages coming in left and right. Riggins on deck, mat #1. So that's down here where we can see pretty well. Hawk fans, experience your home away from home at Coralville's finest all-suite hotels. Homewood Suites and Home 2 Suites by Hilton each offer guests spacious suites, complimentary breakfast, 24-hour fitness center, pool, hot tub, guest laundry, and convenient locations. Let their warm and friendly staff take care of you and your family when you visit Hawkeye Country. Riggins taking on Mielnik to try to finish in 9th place. That match right now is 40 seconds to go in the second period. Matchups this afternoon: 3rd place, Drake Ayala against Matt Ramos. 5th place, Brody Teske against Braxton Brown. 3rd place, Real Woods against Sergio Limley, the number 5 seed. 5th place, Caleb Rachi against Dylan D'Amelio. 3rd place, Jared Franick against Peyton Robb. 3rd place, Michael Caliendo against Cameron Amin. 5th place, Patrick Kennedy versus Andrew Sparks. Championship match, Zach Glazier against Aaron Brooks. And 5th place, Bradley Hill against Nash Hutmaker. Let's see. 3 and 3 and 3 and 3. Making sure I got all of our live reads in for this session for our fabulous sponsors. Again, as soon as Riggins is done, we will wrap things up for this session. And then we will be back on the air at 3:30 Iowa time. And that will be the first, third, and fifth place matches at each weight class. We will have 9 Hawkeyes wrestling in those 10 weights. Like we said, 4 going for third, 4 going for fifth, and 1 in the form of Zach Glazier going for a championship. A minute to go on mat number 1 where Aiden Riggins waits on deck. Team scores again. Penn State has 143, Michigan 122.5, Nebraska 105, Iowa 103.5. So the top 4 are cemented in. I think Nebraska and Iowa cannot catch Michigan, and a lot would have to go right that Michigan could potentially catch Penn State, but not the most likely of scenarios. In essence, I think you're looking at a team battle between Iowa and Nebraska for third place. Michigan will get second, Penn State first. Ohio State, I was wrong. The track must not have updated. So Ohio State has 82, Rutgers has 81. So Rutgers and Ohio State duking it out for fifth place. Minnesota has 67, Wisconsin 46.5, Purdue 41.5, Maryland 39, and then Indiana with 32 points, Illinois 28, Michigan State 23.5, Northwestern rounding out the 14 teams with 14.5 points. So, Hawks in a dogfight, looking for a third-place team finish. Coming into today's session, the Hawks picked up 1 bonus point. I think Nebraska got 2. I think they only got 2. And that was by the medical forfeit. But Nebraska had 11.5 bonus points to Iowa's 10. So they're ahead by 1.5 points. They had 1.5 more bonus points coming into today's session. So, again, those bonus points can make a big difference in that team standing. So Riggins out underway. On mat number 1, taking on the number 14 seed Chase Mielnick of Maryland. Mielnick came into the tournament at a 7-18 record, and there's Riggins in on a shot. Dumps Mielnick off of him, but Mielnick rolls through, grabs our ankle. Trying to step back. Now we're going to stop it for potentially dangerous. Get a fresh start back in the center. Mielnick 2-on-1. Riggins swiped at the leg off of that. Now clears out. .45 seconds gone by here in the first. Riggins, after getting eliminated from the championship side, nice head to the outside shot right there. Gets extended though. Trying to elevate. Mielnick hipping into him. Riggins keeping that head to the outside, trying to elevate, but Mielnick's hanging on to our ankle. Really picked up his offense, Riggins did, though. I mean, he actually was doing well. He got pinned by Rogotsky, but he was in deep on a shot. Got a major decision last night, major decision this morning. Gets a stalemate right there. So get back to action. 1:40 to go in the first. Riggins into a front headlock. Mielnick clears out of that. Double wrist locks here. Riggins has been in deep twice, Mark, and just scrambles where Mielnick dives over and grabs ankles.
need to get shots going like doubles like what he was doing earlier. I can't remember who he wrestled this morning. Rogowski?
Yeah.
Those were good, quick double shots and finishes. And that's how you prevent scrambling. You know, if you get someone that's like really, really roly-poly and rolling around on you, like that Peterson was against Drake, that's when you got to really kind of switch off to like knee picks to doubles and change up your tactics a little bit, some snaps, some go-behinds, some drags.
Shot again by Riggins. Go-behind attempt by Mielnik. We throw the arm out, catch him. Now he rolls us through.
That's not good. Got caught leaving our feet behind. Now we're hanging on here. Now we're really extending out of position, flat on our bellies.
Stalemate that quickly.
Well, referee did not see that going anywhere, which was good because it's true. It wasn't going anywhere because who's this that we're wrestling again?
Mielnik of Maryland.
He wasn't really trying. He got to that position. He was comfortable with the stalemate instead of trying to score to win. He was really comfortable with the stalemate there.
Far knee from the front headlock. Riggins couldn't follow through with it. Final seconds tick away here in the first period. It looks like it will be scoreless. Coin flip. Maryland's choice. Mielnik will defer, so Riggins is going to go down.
Riggins could get this match. This would be a good tournament for him.
Yeah.
A really good tournament for him.
Quick escape to start the second period. So he leads 1-0. Ryan Morningstar upset because the riding time ran about 4 extra seconds. 5 extra seconds. 6 extra seconds. He got out in 2. They got it corrected. 1-0 is the lead for Riggins. Underhook thrown in by Mielnik. Into a carry by Riggins. Mielnik almost takes him over.
He's in bad position now. Neutral danger for sure. He's in trouble. He's going to get pinned.
That's tight.
And there's the fall. That was big.
3 minutes and 48 seconds.
Just got whipped over.
Yep.
To his back, got horsed a little bit right there.
So he will finish 10th in the tournament this year. Knew it was going to be a long shot either way, but probably even more of a long shot for him to get there.
Really wish I could have seen him get that last one, this last one. I hate seeing it end on that when he's had such a good tournament for him, and he's gotten better and better throughout the tournament. He's gotten better and better throughout the season, and now his season's over just like that.
Yep. That's going to wrap things up for us for this session. We'll be back on in about an hour and a half. Start at 4:30 here in Maryland, 3:30 back in Iowa with the first, third, and fifth place matches for this year's tournament. So for Mark Ironside, this is Stephen Grace. We'll talk to you in a little bit for the final part of the 2024 Big Ten Wrestling Championships. You're listening to Hawkeye Wrestling from Learfield.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Iowa Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluter and Fran McCaffrey this fall. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
Wow, what a huge hit. Well, not as huge as the craft beer selection at Local Craft Cellar.
Looking for the largest selection of craft beer in the area? You'll find it all at Local Craft Cellar. On top of their massive selection of craft beer, wine, and spirits, Local Craft Cellar also stocks brats, jerky, bacon, and more from Edgewood Locker Meats, C Avenue Northeast in Cedar Rapids, just north of Boyson Road. And online at localcraftcellar.com. That's localcraftcellar.com.
There's a new deal on sale now at CorridorHalfOff.com. Right now, you can get 2 $25 gift certificates to American Skillet, located on Johnson Avenue Northwest in Cedar Rapids. American Skillet serves up American diner classics for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week, plus dinner service Thursday and Friday nights. Treat yourself to omelets, pancakes, and burgers. Log on to CorridorHalfOff.com now and take advantage. American Skillet, $50 for $25 on CorridorHalfOff.com.
When it comes to your health, you need the full picture. That means the right diagnosis and the right treatment right from the start. I'm Aaron Bose, pediatric neurologist with University of Iowa Healthcare. Here, we're working together every day to advance medicine so you can get the best care. With more research, more clinical trials, and more treatment options than anywhere else in the state, the University of Iowa Healthcare is changing medicine and changing lives. Learn more at uihc.org.
You wouldn't wear the same clothes every day, so why are you drinking only one kind of beer? Experience the largest area selection of craft beer at local craft cellar. Craft beer, non-alcoholic beverages, snacks, meats, and the hard stuff too. Bourbon, tequila, gin, and more. There really is something for everyone and every occasion at local craft cellar. Stop in today at 7085 C Avenue Northeast in Cedar Rapids, just north of Boyson Road.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
Introducing Tanside Stone Tile Flooring, a game changer in the tile industry. Say goodbye to the trade-off between durability and easy installation with Tanside's revolutionary indoor-outdoor stone tile. Visit Tanside.com to see how our tile is installed without concrete or mortar. Instead, our innovative rubber gasket system connects the tiles together. Each tile coming pre-assembled, you simply grab one and place it. No expertise needed. At Tanside.com, you can see how our foam back tiles contour to cover any existing floor while insulating against sound and cold. Beautiful and versatile. Tanside tile adapts to indoor or outdoor use, from kitchens to patios, on concrete basements or wooden decks. All with the durability of stone that's guaranteed for life. Witness this innovative product yourself and order a sample today at Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, you've been listening to Hawkeye Wrestling, presented by Pioneer. Pioneer combines cutting-edge research with one of the largest local testing programs in the industry to help farmers succeed. Pioneer, what's next happens here. Also brought to you by Iowa Corn. You might think Iowa just grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Brought to you by Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit ialottery.com for details. And by Hy-Vee. Score big savings with the new Hy-Vee Perks membership. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.
NBC News Radio, I'm Tammy Trujillo. California Congressman Adam Schiff is defending President Biden's approach to the Israel-Hamas war. During an interview on NBC News, Meet the Press, Schiff said Biden is doing the right thing by figuring out the right policies to bring the conflict to an end and dealing with the political consequences later. Alabama Republican Senator Katie Britt is defending her attack on Biden in her State of the Union response. Britt shared the story of a young woman she met who was a victim of human trafficking between 2004 and 2008, using the woman's experience to attack Biden. In an interview on Fox News Sunday, Britt said while the incident didn't happen under Biden's watch, it's emblematic of his current border policy. The Justice Department is investigating the door plug blowout incident on an Alaska Airlines flight. The Wall Street Journal reports the DOJ has opened a criminal investigation and federal prosecutors have interviewed flight attendants and pilots who were on board. Tammy Trujillo, NBC News Radio.
AM 800 KXIC Iowa City. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, sports, talk, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
UCLA in the Pac-12 tournament. I only hope they don't. I want to put a merciful end to what has been a very, very forgettable season for UCLA. But it doesn't take away, and we talk about this. One thing I've been spoken to you about, Rich, is obviously we're getting excited about an expanded, true first time ever playoff coming up in college football next year with the 12-school playoff. But already. They're talking expansion, like 14 or 16. I think 16 makes a lot of sense to me. I know you'd like to go all the way. But here's what I don't want to see. I don't want to see any more expansion in the NCAA basketball tournament, and let me explain why.
Okay.
So you have 68 schools. You have that first 4, and then you get down to 64. But you have 68 schools, and why it's unnecessary. And here's the beauty of college basketball. So I mentioned the fact that my UCLA Bruins have had a miserable season. But the fact remains, we go into this week with the conference tournaments, and there is still a pathway for every single school still to win the national championship because you have the conference tournaments. So almost every conference tournament is all-inclusive. They have every school involved. And if you get on a run, and by the way, don't say it's impossible because we've seen schools with losing records suddenly winning their conference tournament and getting an automatic bid. So you already have an extra round to the NCAA tournament. It's called the conference tournaments, and they're all inclusive. So as we go into this week, well, actually started this week with some of the smaller conferences, everyone still has a chance. If you can somehow miraculously get on a roll, I always go back to that incredible story about UConn back in the day. Remember this?
The hit true crime podcast Paper Ghosts is back with a haunting mystery in the shadows of the Ozarks. Season 4 unravels a darkly intriguing cold case from 1989 as a community continues to search for answers about a missing girl, various suspects, and a potential connection to BTK.
It's gone from, okay, we don't think something's quite right, to there's some worry going on now because now we've found some of her clothing.
Listen to Paper Ghosts on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Score bonus savings on better sleep at Mattress Firm's Friends and Family Sale. Save up to $700 with your extra discount and a free adjustable base on select beds. If you see a lower price, we'll match it. Restrictions apply.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not one based on the driver who treats the highway like a racetrack and the shoulder like a passing lane. Why pay a rate based on anyone else? Get one based on you with DriveWise from Allstate.
Not available in Alaska or California, subject to terms and conditions. Rates are determined by several factors, which vary by state. In some states, participation in DriveWise allows Allstate to use your driving data for purposes of rating. While in some states, your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Generally, safer drivers will save with DriveWise. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
AM 800 KXIC.
Advancing into their postseason, you could really capture some of that audience. I'm excited about expansion in college football, and I don't think they should be done not by a long shot anytime soon.
Well, they will expand once they see the success.
Oh, exactly.
Once they see the money flowing in and the interest in these games, believe me, they'll expand. 32, we'll see. 16 for sure, I think, down the road. But by the way, if getting back to the basketball tournament, if you're one of those fans of a school that's one of those bubble teams and you don't get called and you're bitching and moaning like we should have been in, you had your chance. You could have guaranteed a slot by winning your conference tournament. So it wasn't like you didn't have an opportunity to control your own destiny. Win the conference tournament. If you win your conference tournament, then you don't have to worry about an at-large bid. You're automatically in, no matter what your record was. So I just laugh at bubble teams that, miss. Oh, we got screwed up. No. You blew your opportunity to guarantee a slot, which you could have done by winning your conference tournament. All right, I want to get back to, we were talking quarterbacks as we get ready for this free agent week, start of free agency in the National Football League. So we're talking about Kirk Cousins. We both agree that if healthy, he should remain a Viking. We're a little perplexed why the Buccaneers have not gotten a deal done with Baker Mayfield. But there's another quarterback that no one is talking about that some people think actually could be the most attractive free agent quarterback on the market. And it's not Russell Wilson. It's not Ryan Tannehill. It's Jacoby Brissett. So Jacoby Brissett is now 31 years of age. I saw NFL.com did it. He says, it's interesting that Brissett easily outplayed the quarterback before him in Cleveland, who was Mayfield, and the quarterback after him, Deshaun Watson. And then he played outstanding with the Commanders after he filled in for Sam Howell. This is a guy that started off in New England, and he's had moments, right? And in some ways, I look at Jacoby Brissett, and I'm thinking Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Like a guy who is looking for an opportunity for a commitment. Like he's gotten glimpses here, there, along the way, and has performed pretty well. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be some kind of Pro Bowl quarterback, but at the very least, he's 31 years old. He could be a stopgap quarterback out there, and it's just a question of who's looking for that kind of a quarterback? Because Seattle rolled the dice on Geno Smith, who was not supposed to play at all. They had made the deal. Russell Wilson getting Drew Lock. We thought they were on their way to, tanking a season to get a premium quarterback in the draft. Instead, they hand the ball to Geno Smith, and we've seen what he's done over the last couple of years. I think Brissett could be that kind of quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, potentially. Here's the interesting thing about the NFL these days. I think offensive coordinators are looking at quarterbacks differently than they ever did. I think that you have more offensive coordinators willing to amend the style of their offense to suit players than ever before. When you had coaches, like even Bill Belichick through a certain era of his coaching past, even though he was always more of an amendable coach in terms of playing style, game plan, stuff like that. But there have been coaches, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin classically, at least on the offensive side of the football, until very recently had coordinators who were, hey, look, we are who we are. We have an identity of physicality on the offensive side of the ball. We're going to run the football at you. We're going to major in play action. John Harbaugh went through that for a long time with Joe Flacco in Baltimore before, really starting to change his ways and allow an offensive coordinator to work with Lamar Jackson to build an offense around him. It's evolved to the point where now backup quarterbacks like a Geno Smith or Baker Mayfield, who's now flopped around on different rosters for a couple of seasons, finds home in an offense where they say, okay, instead of just trying to fit you into what we do here, we're going to build an offense that's comfortable to you, that's curtailed to your talent. And so that's the reason why we're seeing a lot more backup quarterbacks when they get their opportunities as bridge quarterbacks or temporary starters have success.
And then there's another quarterback whose career trajectory is not what I thought it was going to be, and that's Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston is a year younger than Brissett. He's 30 years of age. So his last year in Tampa is sort of the defining moment of his career. 30 interceptions. Like, that number just stands out. What they ignore, of course, is that he led the league with over 5,000 yards passing. He averaged 319 yards passing per game that year, starting all 16 games. He also was second in the league in touchdown passes that year with 33. So he goes to the Saints. It's hard to believe he was in New Orleans for 4 years. 4 years. And the only time he got any significant time in New Orleans was during the 21 season. In 7 starts, he was 5-2 with 14 touchdowns and only 3 picks.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Sean Payton left, and he really wasn't in their mix. And now he's back on the free agent market. I keep going back to Geno Smith, someone that, most people didn't even think he was still in the league. And then all of a sudden he shows up in Seattle and becomes a top-level quarterback. I mean, Jameis Winston, from a talent standpoint, has it. The question is there a team that can still bring it out in him? Because at age 30, he's not too old. You can't give up on a talent like Jameis Winston. Question is he ever going to get another opportunity?
I mean, it's so tough because, look, with the good, there is the bad. You look at a guy like Jameis Winston and you say all those nice things, but Jameis Winston also, the same way he's helped his teams over the course of his career win games, he's also many times the reason why you'll lose games or you should lose games. Like, how many times did the Buccaneers have a 3-interception game while he was the starting quarterback and still find a way to win? It happened, and it was frustrating. I mean, when Bruce Arians was there, it's one of those things where you have those moments you're like, what are we doing here? Like, why is it that our quarterback can't protect the football? And I'm sure Sean Payton went through some of that with him in New Orleans during practice times when he did get opportunities to start, where it's just like, listen, Jameis, you've been doing this for a long time. You know where to go with the football. Why did you make this decision? It's just certain quarterbacks in certain moments, they try to win the game and instead of trying to get the first down. Like, if there's one thing that Drew Brees that separated him from the rest of the quarterbacks in the NFL is Drew Brees was always satisfied getting the first down. He was never worried about the touchdown. The touchdowns will come. If the shot is open downfield, I'm going to take a shot. Michael Thomas, whoever. If the shot's open, I'll find you. But if it isn't there, I'm getting the first down, because guess what first downs mean? First downs mean if we get enough of them, we're getting in the end zone anyway. So I don't care. I just don't care. And he was accurate and he was great because of it. Jameis Winston, for whatever reason, he's one of these quarterbacks who just doesn't appear to have the patience requisite to be a trusted all-time starter in this league, because he'll have a bunch of good series, and then all of a sudden he'll do something confoundingly stupid where you go, no, bud, no, you didn't need to throw it into triple coverage across your body, ranging to your left and throwing it right over the middle of the field. Like, you're not that guy. You're not Aaron Rodgers. You're not Patrick Mahomes. That's not what you do, Jameis. Like, what were you thinking? You could have gained 5 yards on your legs, and it could have been 3rd and 5, but now the defense has the football, and our opposing offense is taking the field because of you. So until he cleans up that aspect of the game or finds a coach who can train that out of him, he is going to continue being relied on as a backup in this league.
All right, on the other side, we always go with the glory positions, right? But there is a player on the free agent market that actually could be the biggest steal of this free agency. And he's not a quarterback, not a running back. Plays a position a lot of people don't pay attention to. They should. We'll tell you why. This is Fox Sports Sunday.
The NFL is always lurking around here.
Trade out of the spot. Go accumulate more picks, more players to help build out around him.
Everywhere you turn. NFL here.
Look, I think that.
NFL there.
Russell Wilson.
In season, off season.
The big football news of the day.
It just won't die. We're Fox Sports Radio.
To thank you for 40 unforgettable years, Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs, like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi there, I'm Andrew McCollum, CEO of Philo. The best way to watch your favorite movies, shows, and live TV for just $25 a month. We like to think of Philo as the future of television. A future where you don't get charged extra for features like unlimited recording or watching on multiple screens. A future without long contracts or constant price increases. Just ask our existing subscribers that have never seen their price go up in over 5 years. A future without having to wait on hold for hours just to talk to a customer service representative. At Philo, anytime you need us, day or night, you'll always have a real person to help you, usually in under a minute. You might even get me answering the phone. Hopefully you'll never have to call because in our version of the TV future, everything just works. With more than 70 channels, plus thousands of hours of content on demand, there's something for everyone to love. So why wait to experience the future of television? Signing up for a free trial takes seconds. Just head over to philo.com/Andrew. That's philo.com/Andrew.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
Hold on. So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code LISTEN for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's code LISTEN. Use code LISTEN for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill-up.
Score bonus savings on better sleep at Mattress Firm's Friends and Family Sale. Save up to $700 with your extra discount and a free adjustable base on select beds. If you see a lower price, we'll match it. Restrictions apply.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not one based on Carol. She's more focused on hitting a high note than the car in front of her. Why pay a rate based on anyone else? Get one based on you with DriveWise from Allstate.
Not available in Alaska or California, subject to terms and conditions. Rates are determined by several factors, which vary by state. In some states, participation in DriveWise allows Allstate to use your driving data for purposes of rating. While in some states, your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Generally, safer drivers will save with DriveWise. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Here are the top Soundgarden songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Fell on Black Days.
Black days. How would I know that this could be my fate?
Number 2, Spoon Man.
Spoon man, come together with your hands, save me. I'm together with your plan, save me.
Number 1, Black Hole Sun.
Black hole sun, won't you come wash away the rain? Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come?
Hear more from Soundgarden and similar artists now. Search for Soundgarden on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top foreigner songs that you've thumbed up.
Number 3,
Hot Blooded.
I show you loving like you never knew. That's why I'm hot-blooded. Check it and see. Feel the fever burning inside of me. Come on, baby, do you do more than dance?
Number 2,
I Want to Know What Love Is.
Change this lonely life.
Number 1. Cold as ice.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Hear more from Foreigner and similar artists now. Search for Foreigner on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music. All your favorite stations. All free.
The Hawkeyes play here on AM 800 KXIC, Iowa City's Hawkeye sports leader.
FS1. Looking for the one, what you looking at the one?
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1.
Looking for the one, what you looking at the one?
Steve Harvey, Rich Arberger here, Fox Sports Sunday. We're live from the TireRack.com studios. Now, right after the Sharp podcast is going up, if you missed any of today's show, be sure to check out our podcast. Just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get your podcast. Be sure to also follow, rate, and review the podcast. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get your podcast, and you'll see the show posted right after we get off the air. Exciting time right now. You know, the sort of the post-Super Bowl, February, whatever you're doing for a couple of weeks, those days are gone. We got a busy week coming up in the NFL this week with free agency, and, of course, that's going to lead eventually into the NFL draft. Obviously, we're getting down the stretch in the NBA regular season, and next Sunday, Selection Sunday, you know. So next thing you know, baseball is going to be here coming up on our next era. John Paul Morosi is going to be joining us as spring training is underway. So the nice time of the year right now, Richie. By the way, here on the West Coast, we've had a lot of rain this year.
Yeah.
But now that it seems like the sunshine is coming out.
Yeah, and you mention it with the sports calendar turning back toward, the normal fever pitch. It's like pick your poison. If you're an NBA fan, well, basketball is starting to really matter as we get closer to the play-in tournament. College basketball, obviously, with Selection Sunday, like you mentioned. Golf, the majors are coming around. We're getting ready for Augusta here pretty soon. And then the NFL, it's just the year-round sport now with NFL free agency and trades. And then the combine that just took over last week, and then the upcoming draft. You can turn your sports viewing or interest direction in any direction, and you will be satiated by something.
All right, so getting back to free agency, and the question is, which free agent could actually command the biggest dollar on the free agent market? And I'm going to throw a name at you because I think it's possible. This guy's an 8-time Pro Bowler. This is a guy that had a bounce-back season in 2023 after several years of being hurt. And he's 33 years of age, which for his position is far from old. I'm talking about Tyron Smith, who for the last 13 years obviously has been a mainstay on that Dallas Cowboys offensive line. He had a big bounce-back year in 2023. Had some injuries the previous years. He graded out well with Pro Football Focus. He played second-team AP All-Pro. So he got back to an elite level, and now he's on the free agent market. And I always go back to Trent Williams. You remember his last year in Washington? He had that cancerous growth on his head, and he was sort of placed on – he didn't clear – the medical exams of the then Redskins. And so they told his agent, look, he was having a problem with his helmet or something else like that. So they gave them permission to try to work a deal. And the 49ers got him for a third and a fifth. Yeah. A year later, he became the highest paid offensive lineman in the league. And since then, he's only added to his obvious first ballot Hall of Fame resume. I'm not saying Tyron Smith is Trent Williams, but he's awfully good. And certainly from what he did a year ago for Dallas, looking like the guy that he was early in his career, I'm telling you, somebody may throw a pretty big number at Tyron Smith.
I disagree. The highest paid free agent signing is going to be Kirk Cousins, and it's not even going to be close.
But, talking about going to a different team.
Okay, yeah.
So what I'm saying is, Kirk Cousins staying, but if we're – because – Tyron Smith is not going to stay in Dallas.
That's correct.
So I'm talking about a free agent that's going to be signed by a different team.
Well, don't sleep on Christian Wilkins. who's a defensive tackle who's going to be sought after here on the open market, leaving Miami. I'm trying to think of who else, defensive edge guys. I know Chase Young is, but I don't think he's going to get broke off. How about Danielle Hunter out of Minnesota, another guy who potentially could leave the Vikings? He could get broke off. I mean, there are a couple other guys that I would put ahead of Tyron Smith in terms of being able to lure a team into paying them huge money. And I'm talking about, like you mentioned, going to a different team and getting a huge contract. And I guess the jury's not out on Kirk Cousins. You know, if one of these teams out there is willing to spend for Kirk Cousins, they could get Kirk Cousins. Here's the problem for any team who's interested in Kirk Cousins, and this is true of any veteran quarterback. You're going to have a hard time, or a harder time, I should say, building around that contract than you will if you draft a rookie or if you get somebody for less. So if you sign a Baker Mayfield as opposed to a Kirk Cousins, is he as good as Kirk Cousins? No, probably not. But are you going to have more flexibility with your salary cap? Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to draft a quarterback, there's no question you're going to have a much easier time building around a quarterback. So that is the big bugaboo here when you're signing a veteran free agent quarterback, or if you're re-signing a quarterback in your Minnesota, is you got to understand what you're sacrificing, and you have to be ready for that sacrifice.
All right, but I guess, again, as you structure your salaries that you're dispersing to your team, there's an order to them. Obviously, quarterback is going to be, if it's an established quarterback, is going to be the biggest nut to cover. After that, we talk about edge rushers, we talk about offensive tackles. Wide receivers keep creeping up on this list as highest paid guys on the team. I just look at Tyron Smith, who honestly was underpaid a year ago.
Yeah.
And he did revert to form. And that was a pretty high level. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out priorities here in terms of how you spend your money. And obviously, salary cap is going to significantly for the NFL. Biggest increase from year to year ever with this television, and it's only going to go up from there. I mean, how much of a difference maker has Trent Williams been for the 49ers?
I mean, he's been an enormous difference maker, so much so that it's really Trent Williams and company. Like, you don't really talk about the rest of the offensive line because they're not as good or even close to being on the level as a Trent Williams. In terms of Tyron Smith, I mean, I agree with you. An aging veteran with a pretty extensive injury history could help you if he stays healthy, but there's that if that lingers out there. It's not a 100%, and it's a very violent position, and so you worry about making a signing like that. There is no worry when you make a signing like, some of the names I was, throwing out there, like a Danielle Hunter or a Christian Wilkins, or, I'm trying to think of wide receivers who are available in free agency right now. A little bit of slim pickings there, but a lot of these, I guess Marquise Brown, potentially he's available. Trying to think of other ones, but yeah, you have these opportunities to bolster your roster. You want to go with somebody who is going to have an immediate impact, which Tyron Smith absolutely will if he signs with any team, but B, can stay healthy, and that is a big if with Smith.
All right, on the other side, I'm going to bring Bo into the mix here. We've got some very important things to talk to Bo Benson about, our esteemed producer. But first, let's talk about what is trending right now. Brian Finley, a man grossly underpaid a year ago, grossly underpaid now, but a man still brings an A-plus level of effort every single day.
That's why this isn't my only job. You can't,
right,
live off of it. I don't know. Did I say that out loud?
Well, no, I understand what you're saying. I mean, in this industry, holding down a multitude of jobs is important.
You have to, yeah. There's always different schools of thought, but for me, versatility is employability. And, you could say that somebody says, well, get really good at one thing. I'm not so sure about that.
Well, it depends on your required level of living. Now, Rich is eyewitness to what I'm comfortable with.
Oh, yeah. Let's put it this way. I don't know if you can name a salary that's enough for Steve Hartman. I mean, because what is enough after all?
Yeah.
I mean, did he need the marble staircase? No.
Yes.
No.
It's Rich, it's funny you say that because I picture Steve as somebody who only needs a shower once a week and he can live in a cardboard box.
Well,
and I do that. And
That's what I thought.
It is.
But there's a lot of requests around Steve. Let's put it that way. Very
Yeah,
generous.
well, exactly. It's how do you spend your money? I don't need a lot in terms of my living space.
No,
I just need a roof over my head,
and a couch,
and and everything after that is superfluous.
Like, there's a lot of people that have like these maybe 8 feet by 10 foot like wooden sheds in
you
their
don't
backyard.
know how
Like, you can
appealing that
easily-
looks to me.
I was going to say that would be perfect.
Every
for you.
time I see one of these programs about the smallest possible living space,
tiny house,
I get excited. I get excited about that.
Oh, the things you get excited about. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to just leave it right there.
It's like, how small of a space could I actually live in?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to leave that one right there before I send the show into a ditch. As far as college basketball is concerned, we do have Caitlin Clark coming up with 34 points in the Big Ten tournament final, guiding Iowa over Nebraska 94-84. On the men's side, we're starting to see some teams with NCAA tournament berths. The second team to make it into the big dance would be Longwood University from Farmville, Virginia, undergraduate number 3,200 as they take out UNC Asheville. Other important games that are going on, we do have the Missouri Valley Conference, and they've got their championship going on, and it's Drake leading Indiana State 55-40. About 4 minutes into the second half there. The Atlantic Sun Championship has Stetson trailing Austin Peay 56-52. There are 12 minutes remaining in the second half. We do know, guys, in the NFL that the Bears are going to be signing, according to NFL Network, All-Pro safety Kevin Byard to a 2-year deal worth about $15 million in base cash money. And lastly, guys, the Eagles, their dominant defensive tackle, Fletcher Cox, announcing on social media that he is retiring. Let's get it back to a man who is never going to retire. No, never. Steve Hartman and the always amazing Rich Ornberger.
Yeah, you'll read about my retirement when you read my obituary.
That'll be
my sudden announcement of retirement.
Very small, very compact living space there.
Exactly.
You also look like you're 35, Steve.
Well,
so.
that's very nice of you to say. By the way, the coach and I, you mentioned John Quintero, we're literally 3 days apart.
He told me that.
Yeah, so that is. I used to joke with him because he's 3 days older. I go, those must have been 3 tough days. That's all I can say that. But I say that lovingly because, I mean, he is a sweetheart of a man that I love dearly. All right, well, I very much, Beefin, that last story turns our attention to our esteemed producer, Bo Benson. So, Bo, apparently your entire Eagles team is quitting on you right now. Fletcher Cox, by the way, is very much an arguable Hall of Fame candidate. 6-time Pro Bowler, made the Hall of Fame all 2010s decade team. Only 33 years of age, just turned 33. He decides to hang it up. Jason Kelsey, who had denied that he had ever told anyone after their playoff disaster against Tampa that he had said to anyone that he was going to retire, he is retiring as well. Your Eagles team is falling apart right now, and I'm. How do we get this thing back together and back on track?
First, I just want to shout out Fletcher Cox. Greatest moment of his career when he trash talked George Bush on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one, but they'll be fine. I think. And yesterday they're going to probably trade Sweat and Reddick if the deals pop up. So a lot of change, but hey man, who knows? They'll be fine. Big year for Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis to step up.
Well, first, whoa. It's a big year for Nick Sirianni, is what it is.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you want comeback coach of the year.
Wait, you don't trust him at all?
I do not. No, I do not like Nick Sirianni.
Well, I mean, when your wheels fall off as dramatically as they did for the Eagles a year ago.
Guys, this was a 10-1 coach. Week 11, week 12, you remember?
Yeah,
but then
and they
you get
won one game the rest of the way.
Then you get the story that Big Dom's on the sideline because they need someone to control the head coach's emotions, and you kind of feel a little off about that.
Everybody needs an ear to bend, and his was Big Dom's. That's all.
Well, the interesting thing about the Eagles organization is that every time that they suddenly jump to the spotlight, within a couple, the wheels fall off.
But if there's one guy I trust to fix it, it's Howie Roseman. And they'll have some cap space to play with.
He's had to fix his own mess a few times.
For sure.
That's the thing about Howie Roseman. I mean, when you think about it, you can make an argument that he's put together a Hall of Fame resume as an executive. But a lot of his best work is undoing his own mistakes.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's face this. Every general manager is going to step in it from time to time. Overall, Bo, as a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles, how would you grade his roster construction over the course of his time in control?
A+.
Yeah.
A+. A+ is perfect.
Yeah, I think
It's been perfect.
I would give him
gotten to the Super Bowl multiple
times.
times.
I would give it an A. Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think overall he's made a lot more hits than misses. Even the backups who they've had to rely on at times through his tenure.
He's also pulled off from some remarkable deals, getting DeAndre Swift for a third rounder.
Oh, yeah.
And then got good production out of him. And then
Brown.
Jalen Carter this year in the draft.
How about his choice in coaches?
Well, so I mean,
I mean that's part of your resume as well, right?
Well, hang on. Yes,
he did. And Nick Sirianno almost won a Super Bowl.
He won a Super Bowl. Yeah, he went to a Super Bowl.
If it wasn't for some freaky dropping of the ball,
they knocked over the Giants of Trent Dilfer years.
Well, yeah, and by the way, you think about, he beat the Patriots, or I should say, Doug Peterson, the coach, against Bill Belichick. Tom Brady is the quarterback. They beat him with their backup quarterback, and then he hires a coach who in his third year goes toe-to-toe with the Kansas City Chiefs, the next dynasty in the NFL, and his quarterback outduels Patrick Mahomes.
Really probably should have won that game in retrospect. But.
Well, here's the other thing. So we not had a repeat champion almost 20 years now in the NFC East. After Andy Reid and the Eagles won 4 straight NFC East titles from 01 to 04, there has not been a repeat champion. Now, I don't think anyone here is picking the Commanders or the Giants to win the NFC East in 2024. Anybody? So if it's not the Cowboys, it's got to be the Eagles again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I mean, at first blush, looking at them losing Jason Kelce and now watching them lose Fletcher Cox, who it was arguably one of their most productive players on their roster. I mean, you're losing 2 tentpoles of this team. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys all day long to win the division in the NFC East.
Well, the logic would say you're right.
Yeah.
But history says you're wrong.
Well, I know that, but you can't look. Every year is a new year. You can't necessarily.
But didn't we all agree going into this year, and when we started to make our preseason predictions, that the Eagles would break that streak? I mean, they were coming off a year where, again, if it wasn't for a fluke dropping of the ball by Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl, you take that one play away, it's very
exact moment.
I mean, the Eagles easily could win that game. Hurts outplayed Mahomes in that game. Yeah. So, with the exception of that one freaky play. So we were all in the thinking that, all right, no one's done it in 18 years at that point. Eagles will repeat. And then they start the year 10-1, and then the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys got back to the top. I think the Eagles bounce back, but I'm trying to figure out a path as they get almost every day now. Somebody else is leading the team.
Lane Johnson could be next, by the way. Lane Johnson, who
don't do this to me.
I'm just saying he could be. Now I've seen some off-season workout videos that he's been putting out. He looks like he's ready to play for another 5 years. But I mean, look, James Harrison still puts out off-season workout videos. He's been retired for 8 or 9 seasons now.
But I think, Rich, to your tentpole thing, that, and I'm not going to say losing Kelce deprives them of the tush push or whatever we call it, but at the same time, we've seen the importance of centers and staving off interior pressure now for multiple teams across the NFL. Like, if you have a really top center, your offensive line has that linchpin. It is critical to have that. I mean, focus goes to the tackles, which are very important, but that center is so important, and that's someone they really have to hit on in a draft or somewhere to really replace him.
The good news for the Eagles is that Kelsey did handpick his successor, I believe, last year or the year before.
Yeah. Well,
he did?
Yeah, they went to him for input. I think Cam Jurgens was drafted as a center, but they've been playing him at guard until Kelsey retires.
Okay, you know what? Handpicked successors. I remember this. A valued friend of both Rich and I, former teammate of Rich, Nick Hardwick, was a mainstay in the middle of that Chargers offensive line, and they had designated several guys. Now, Rich could have been that guy, but unfortunately for Rich, he couldn't stay healthy. But they kept drafting guys. This will be the heir apparent. Yeah. Fail. Yeah. I mean, how many failed centers did they have over the next several years after your abrupt retirement and the retirement? Yes, your abrupt retirement. I mean, they thought that we have the answer for Nick coming to the end of his career. In Rich Ornberger, but abruptly you retired. Suddenly, out of nowhere.
I think my back retired me.
I remember very emotional press conference during that retirement. All right, coming up. All right, we got more free agency news, and here's the thing: we talk about these free agents. There are still teams that got to get rid of players over the next couple of days. What other big names could we be talking about as potential free agents? We'll tell you. This is Fox Sports Sunday.
Firing. He hits a three.
The NCAA Men's Basketball Conference tourneys are here.
Drive to the bucket. To the right corner. Three for the win. Yes!
We're ready. Are you? Don't miss the drama. Your tournament action starts right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, it's Jonas Knox. Winter is coming. Heavy rain, sleet, snow, and ice. Are your tires up for the challenge? In the season's worst conditions, winter tires are a game changer. They elevate traction, control, and confidence. Tire Rack sells only the best, like the Goodyear Ultra Grip. Go to TireRack.com/sports. Tell them what you drive. Your tires will ship fast and free to your one of over 10,000 recommended installers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
At Lowe's, pros save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 230 or more select James Hardie fiber cement siding panels. And there's more. Save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at Lowes.com/credit for details. U.S.
NBC News Radio, I'm Tammy Trujillo. The situation in Gaza is a catastrophic humanitarian nightmare. That's what Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock said this morning on CNN's State of the Union. The Democrat said President Biden is pushing hard for a pause in the fighting between Israel and Hamas to surge aid into the region. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders is urging progressives to back the president in November, despite objections to his approach to the Israel-Hamas war. During a CBS Face the Nation interview, Sanders said the contrast between Biden and Republican frontrunner Donald Trump is day and night. He said the election of Trump would be a disaster for the country. This coming Tuesday is Equal Pay Day. That's the date that symbolizes how far into the year women have to work to earn what men earned in the previous year. The Labor Department says women in the U.S. earned about 20% less than men on average last year. You're listening to The Latest. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
In this week's Marketers Report, Dana Nussbaum, Executive Vice President, Worldwide Marketing at Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on regional audio marketing.
Although we're marketing at a very broad scale, it does include specific local markets, and that's the beauty of iHeart's network.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, postnasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now. Like Alternative Rewind, where alt rock began. R.E.M., The Cure, Depeche Mode, Pretenders, Talking Heads, and more. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Alternative Rewind, and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
AM 800 KXIC.
How do you like it?
The question is this.
You like it like this?
I'm strictly talking basketball.
Or like this?
Baseball tends to be, of all our sports, very much steeped in tradition.
And what about this?
Basically, the NFL has found ways to make money off of everything.
Like it a lot. Whatever it is that you like, we've got it covered. It's sports the way you like it on Fox Sports Radio. The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken.
Wow.
You can see him on The Herd, weekdays at noon Eastern on FS1 in the Fox Sports app.
Steve Hartman, Rich Hornberger, Fox Sports Sunday. We're live from the TireRack.com studios. Quick note, couple people on the social media have asked about Lucky LeShoe. Did I miss Lucky LeShoe? This is the beauty. As soon as we're off the air, our podcast goes up. So, again, you still got a little time before the Academy Awards. If you want the winners ahead of time, some friendly wagers, whatever it might be. But we talked to him in the second hour. It's all there for you. Quickly goes through all the picks. All right, I want to talk, Rich, about the Chargers situation. So they have 4 players, Keenan Allen, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, and Mike Williams. As their contracts are currently structured for 2024, those 4 guys actually take up more than half their cap under the current structure of their deals.
Yeah.
And they still haven't reached a decision on any one of these guys, and there's still, I believe, about $18 million over the cap.